100 per material. Yeah. Oh, but if we're talking about gaining.
Yeah.
Dance.
Yeah, enter battle phase.
Okay.
27.
There is less than 30 minutes to get
3,000.
registered for our ongoing 2025 regional qualifiers. If you'd like to register, please do
32.
so online.
Just over 30 minutes.
Okay. Stand by me.
Bro, no way. Draw phase. Stand by.
Yep.
Main phase. Retract. Sure. Normal effect. Effect. Link into moon.
So you agree?
Yeah.
What'd you add off of that?
Sword. Thank you. Sure. And any others? Special effect. Effect to attach. Effect to add.
Yeah.
Activate cross. Special mode.
Okay.
Node. Target sword. effect to attach.
You do within less than 20 minutes to get registered for the 2025 regional qualifiers. If you would like to get registered, please go to ListSaiHoje.com. If you need any assistance, please head over to the help desk page.
Effect. Cited it out.
No legal party.
I cited it out. Forgot about it.
So I'm very over back to it's another P minor. They received a submit for the same thing.
No.
You guys are good.
Okay. Attempt to leave main base. 26, 31. Yeah, you should be at 23. Main base 2. We'll cross target these two. Good. Go ahead.
You got it.
Resident and student.
Double leash. Double leash.
Hello, everybody. It's Jackie Jing, and it's time for trivia. And I am with Ven and Forrest. And Forrest, you told me you're surviving and thriving right now, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I sure am.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about your YCS journey.
Oh man, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since the Yada format. So I started when it first started. I took a break. During GX came back, I've been diddled out here and there.
It has your heart.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you told me you're doing well this tournament.
No, I didn't play this tournament.
I thought you were.
I already got my next one.
Oh, okay. So now you're just vibing.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, enjoying the crowd.
Okay, I misheard you earlier. I thought you said you made Top
Ahí
Gun. I'm
tocó.
just making up a narrative here. Okay, we're manifesting it for the future. We like
Huh?
that? Okay. Then we were chatting
Todos
and you
zapas
told
aquí,
me
eh?
didn't really pan out as well as you liked.
No, I got I got round 7, then that was the
No,
X3.
depois
and it's
eu
like,
tô descendo. Vai, arrocha.
better go do side events.
Okay, but you told me I was going to make it on stage no matter what.
My exact words to my group was, through some way, shape, or form, I'm going to get on stage, and then I lucked out and sat in the right spot.
Yes, you were on stage and you could win some tickets. We love that, right? Okay, I told you all the rules earlier, but for everyone watching at home, trivia, whoever claps first gets to answer. Are we ready? Are we ready, crowd? There we go. I love it. And y'all aren't going to cheat and shout on answers, right? Chat, you can drop answers. We can't see it, so. But yeah. Are you ready? Okay. First question. Which Mulcharmy can you find in Maze of the Master? Confident clap.
That would be Molcharmy Aurelia.
Correct. Okay. All right, y'all help me keep count here. So Ven, 1. Okay. Second question. Name one of the 2 cards you can find as a quarter-century secret rare in Maze of the Master. Ooh, they're thinking. They're thinking. Wait, what? You're scared? You don't think you got it? Okay. Does anybody in the crowd know? Oh my gosh, look at all those hands. Look at all those hands. Okay. That was an apprehensive clap, but okay.
I want to say Temple of the Kings and 7th Tachyon.
No. I see the crowd. They're shaking their heads. They're like, no, no. Okay. Forrest, any ideas?
I'm didn't really pay attention, Maze, to be honest.
Oh, no. Okay. I was like, I wish we could phone a friend, but that's not an option. Let me give a hint. Oh, I hope this isn't too much of a hint. Number 107. Okay, you clapped.
Is it? No, it's not Tachyon Galaxy Dragon.
Hold on. What did you say?
It's a Tachyon Dragon? No, it's not.
Okay, you're really close.
Tachyon Galaxy Dragon? I don't know. It's Tachyon. What
Okay,
is
you're saying all the right words. You're saying all the right words.
Oh my God. I don't know it because I played Tachyon. What is number 107?
You said, okay, you said Tachyon. That is right. Number 107. Crowd, he's warm, right? They're nodding. They're nodding. Okay, Forrest, let me check in with Ven. Ven?
Christ, I want to attack that one.
Look at the crowd. They're throwing their hands up.
Half of my people from college are with me right now. They are mean mugging me right now.
Who are your friends?
Raise your hands.
We're like, what is going on, man? Oh, no. Okay. Let me give another hint. Silent Magician. Crowd, wasn't that a good hint? Am I wrong? I'm pretty much I'm getting the thumbs up. Okay. No? Okay. Oh, man. I want to phone a friend. Can I phone a friend? Someone in the crowd. Someone in the crowd. Okay. You've been looking really confident. Is it okay if I walk over there, Cal? Okay, we're going to walk over there. Okay. I want to hear what you think the answer is here.
107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon.
You are correct. Okay, do you know either of them? Okay, well, I thought we were phoning a friend. I guess that didn't quite work. You know what we're going to do since we got the answer? Let's rock, paper, scissors for that one. No, one shot. One shot. Are you 1, 2, 1, 2 shoot? 1, 2, 3 shoot. You did 1, 2 shoot. What? Okay, redo. Okay, 1, 2 shoot. Okay. Oh my gosh, Ven, he got in your head during rock, paper, scissors, didn't he? It was with that first one. Okay, Ven is 2-0 right now. It ain't over though. It ain't over for us. Okay, we ready for the third question? All right, I love you, crowd. You guys are awesome. Finish the card name. The man with the... You didn't clap, Ben. Ben put his hand up. You got to clap. Okay, Forrest, what is it?
The man with the hand? No. Nah, I lost it.
Oh, Forrest lost it. Okay,
The man with the mark.
you got it. Okay, 3-0, 3-0. It's okay. You know what? Everyone's a winner here because, Forrest, you're awesome. So you're working for second place here. Let's see if we can get any points on the board, okay? We got a couple more questions. What level is XYZ Hyper Dragon Cannon?
4?
Oh, no. Oh, your friends are furious right now. Your friends are furious. Okay, so it's not 4. Okay, what level is XYZ Hyper Dragon Cannon?
8?
No, so close, so close. Crowd, do you know what it is? Should you shout it out? No, that's not what I have. Thank you. 9. It is 9. Okay. Low-key, I feel like we should make the crowd a participant because the crowd would have 2 and Ven would have 2. Right? Okay. Crowd, do you guys want to be part of the game? Okay. All right. You guys are in. The crowd has 2. Ven has 2. Ven, can you beat the crowd? And Forrest, you're here for support, okay? Yeah. And maybe you can get 1 on the board, right? Okay, this is our last question. Crowd, are you listening? Ven, are you listening? Forrest? Okay. Fill in the blank. Reveal 1 number XYZ monster in your extra deck that has a number between blank and blank in its name. Crowd clap first. Crowd 1. Crowd 1! I didn't even know that I was going to make the crowd a participant, but that happened. Okay, you know what, though? Don't worry, we'll get some tickets for y'all. You better share your tickets, though, with your friends, okay?
Oh, yeah, they're getting it. The worst part is I actually knew that one. I was waiting for you to finish the question.
No, you can clap whenever.
I wanted to be polite.
Oh, my gosh, Ven, you're so sweet. Ven was trying to be polite. The crowd was like, no, we're clapping right now. Okay, so I'm so happy to have you all up on stage. And since we're here, I'd love to ask you both, why do you love Yu-Gi-Oh so much?
I like Yu-Gi-Oh because my friend back in Lufkin, Jermaine, got me into it. It was just for, like, I didn't really care, but he showed me, you know, when you find something that you like doing, to go for it.
Aw, I love that. Okay, and what about you?
First, I grew up with it as a child, and then I found my main group of friends through college through it, and now I'm the president of a college club for it somehow.
We love that.
Wearing the university short for so
Aww.
our mascot as like our university mascot in the design of Exodia right now. It's on the back.
I love this. Okay.
I hope we're allowed to show that on stream or.
That's okay, but we love that it's all about community and memories, right? Do you have like a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh memory in your head? It could be from a YCS or childhood memory.
My first top actually was in Houston at Greens Point Mall. I was playing Burning Abyss, and I ended up coming in 10th.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Forrest. Okay, there we go. What about you? Do you have a favorite Yu-Gi-Oh memory?
Yes, I do. Right when I got back into the game, it was during the height of Cashier format, and I was on Neospatians of all things. Game 1 at Locals, I went first. Cosmo Neos, which, to those who don't know, lock out your opponent's entire turn. That man immediately scooped from the tournament. And I'm like, oh god, what did I do?
I feel like that is like comical and also sad.
His exact words was, I paid $300 for this deck, why did I lose to Neospatians?
Oh my goodness.
That was probably the pinnacle of humor for this. Admittedly. I'm on better decks now.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, well, can we get a round of applause for Ven and Forrest, everybody? And can we get a round of applause for our crowd who basically won trivia? Y'all are fantastic. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break and we'll be right back.
Hello everyone, I'm Billy Brake here at YCS Houston, and there are so many duelists here trying to walk away as a YCS champion. I'm going to stop and talk to them and see how they get here, what they're doing here, and what their plans are for this weekend. So let's hear from the duelists competing at YCS Houston here this weekend. Hello everyone, Billy Brake here at YCS Houston, and I found another duelist that is here competing this weekend. I'm here with Vale. Now tell me, where did you come from and why are you here?
I am from Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. I've been on the scene for a little while, mostly regionals. Y'all can probably see the 60 card guy, baby. Y'all know me. I'm here, man, to win. I hadn't gotten a YCS champion. I've topped a billion regionals. I topped 64 at the COVID Nats. So I just need to go ahead and get this under my belt and really get it ready.
Awesome, so yeah, really excited about winning. What did you do to prepare for this event when you already have such high expectations?
I played 7 billion hours against Malice with no Lancia or Chaos Hunter in my side deck just to see how which board breakers were the best. So.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, testing on hard mode. That's something to think that a lot of players may not think to do. That's really good advice. Something you can do. So you mentioned that you've been wanting to get that win for a while. Is there any duelists that you look up to? People that you're excited about maybe facing off here this weekend?
Not look up to, because most of the top players are the homies. Like shout out to Kamal and all those guys. I really want to play Jesse Cotton. I've seen him for a while, and hopefully he's here. If he's not, then that kind of sucks. But he's one of the few on the competitive scene I hadn't got a chance to play. So I just want to see how we stack.
Okay, well he is here. I did see him earlier, so maybe you'll get that opportunity to face him here this weekend. Now, it's a long weekend. You know, it's a YCS. You mentioned you played a lot of regionals. Those are one-day events. YCSs are 2 days. How are you going to stay focused dueling throughout this long event?
Like I said, it's just I've been doing it for a while, so just remember that every day is just another day. So as a football player, we know one game at a time. Same thing here. One day, one game at a time. Day 2, one game at a time. Don't let day 1 success taint days 2 success. If you drop a game, short memory and get back to it. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah, definitely excellent advice. All right, we're going to end it with one fun question. I don't know how much you know about the anime, but if you could be any character from any of the anime series, who would you be and why?
Easy. Seto Kaiba the GOAT because he got the bag. Big bag Kaiba. He brought his greatest op back from the grave to play him because Yugi cheated him. So he brought him back. He held a tournament to bring him back from the afterlife to get his fade. And so Kaiba will forever be the GOAT no matter what series.
Definitely. My favorite Kaiba duel is against the Shizu, and the Shizu predicts the future, and he's like, no, not even your future reading is going to stop me from winning.
Because I'm Big Money Kaiba, baby. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, it was great talking to you. Good luck this weekend. Thanks for watching. I'm here with Walter Jewell, YCS champion. Thanks for joining me. How far did you come to be here, and why are you here this weekend?
I came from San Diego, California, and
Beautiful city.
Yep. It actually in Spanish it means. Well, I came to have fun with my friends.
I like staying on track. So you're about having fun, but you'd like to walk away with the win this weekend, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, cool. So you played at a lot of events. What would you say is the best part about competing at a YCS?
I actually think it's hanging out. Also, I like the barbecue in Texas, so that's like half the reason why I came here, unironically.
So it's more of like a vacation for you, but like an excuse to go to like new cities and have some fun time with your friends and maybe win a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament while you're there.
Yeah, I also like the process of like when you practice to try to get like just improve at like a hobby, and then you come to see if it pays off at the tournament, see if it's your day.
Definitely, guys, it has to be your day. So you've been to a lot of tournaments, you've played a lot of great duelists throughout the years. Is there any particular duelist you'd love to have a match against here this weekend?
Anybody I would want to play against? I don't know, somebody easy, like I can't think of anybody that I want.
I appreciate you holding back, but so you'd rather go the least resistant possible path as opposed to like a gauntlet of like champions along the way.
Yeah, I want to win. I don't want to struggle.
Yeah, the easier it is, the better. Hey, I can respect it. No worries on that. So, how do you stay focused on like a long day of dueling?
I drink a lot of water. I make sure I eat because if I get too hungry, I will be on focus. And then I'll drink like a coffee because it just helps me focus, like the caffeine.
Yeah, staying hydrated is very important. A lot of times you forget to do it because like you finish your round, the next round's up. Yeah, want to stay hydrated, make sure you eat a lunch and everything else as well. Now, the last question. This is going to be anime related. If you could be any character from any Yu-Gi-Oh anime, what would it be, or who would it be, and why?
I'll be Seto Kaiba because he's rich.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, it kind of works. Do you have any? Could you give me your best Seto Kaiba impression?
This water bottle was made by Carbide Corp. It's too weak. Give me a better water bottle.
There you go. Okay, good enough. Thank you so much, Walter, and good luck this weekend. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Steven Darling. So, Steven, so you're here. Are you competing this weekend?
Not this time. Max Steve is going to take a break this weekend.
Okay, but you are going to be on the commentary desk, right?
I am very excited to see everything we've got in store this weekend.
Awesome. What are you the most excited about?
So, actually, we haven't seen high-level Blue Eyes gameplay at a YCS yet, and then all the new stuff from Maze of the Masters, specifically like the Temple of the Kings deck. Really excited to see anime stuff. It is me, after all.
Okay, well, let's jump straight into it. This was going to be my big finisher, but we can just go and mention anime. Okay, I'm really excited to see what your answer is to this question in particular. If you could be any character from any of the Yu-Gi-Oh animes, who would it be and why? And you have to have an impression lined up already before we get to that part.
Well, I'm working on Grandpa Moto actually right now. No, you know, one of my favorite roles for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually Jaden, but it's Jaden when he gets to like that end part where he's just the traveling duelist just going from place to place. You see like a little bit in the movie, but it's hard to do a Jaden impression because that's just like Matthew's beautiful voice. So, other than that, I do love me some stall tactic cards. I bring this Divine back for you. So we'll go with Yami Bakura. There's a little bit of evil in all of us, right? You just have to play the right cards.
Awesome. So Jaden and Bakura, all right.
Bakura likes games. I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I just like games. That's all.
All right, well, that was awesome. Great talking to you, Steven. Can't wait to see you back there on the commentary desk with me this weekend. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm here with another part of Team Max Steve. Steven Rodriguez, thanks for being here this weekend. How far did you come?
Just like you, California.
Pretty far. So what are you going to be doing this weekend? You be back there on commentary?
That's right. I've been doing a lot of shout casting with my boy Steven Darling. Unfortunately, our other boy Steven Kangas will not be joining us, but don't worry, plenty of Steves to fill the roles.
Definitely. We got enough Steves to go around. Now, what are you most excited about this weekend?
Definitely the
Pai, tá com vontade de dar não. Tava dando vontade de armar uma rede, mano.
Whether that's with
Esperar essa bananite.
really fun trap decks. I'm excited to see if that makes a big wave here this weekend.
Awesome. Now, so we'll just jump into it, since there's a lot of these questions are about the YCS and like what you're playing and stuff, but we're going to talk about the anime.
Lança o regional.
Character in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, who's it going to be?
Well, first of all, I would be Yami Merrick from the original Battle Series.
É, o Inhamet já foi. Ele tava lá esperou, só deu 3 caras, mas aí não deu. Aí... Tá doidinho pra jogar, porque eu tive que sair na rodada 1. Aí foram 5 rodadas, né? Foram 5 rodadas. Aí não consegui completar, né? Pelo menos eu acho que eu consegui um top 8 lá no Arena, né? Mas aí tive que sair. E eu perdi por besteira, mano. Perdi por besteira. Porque a porra da TTT que eu já disse, que não é pra botar no deck. E aí, ela tava na minha mão. E eu tava com uma True Light, uma Purga Dominus, uma barragem dimensional e eu acho que alguma Range Trap, eu não lembro. Mas, enfim, se eu não tivesse a TTT, eu ia puxar um amarelo. E aí eu baixei 3, eu baixei 3 e Trap. E aí, 4 Light, eu consegui invocar o Blue Eyes e montar a defesa. E tava bem no finalzinho de acabar. Aí o cara pegou e já foi logo pra fase de batalha e ficou comendo tempo. Aí ganhou, graças a Deus, mas tá bom. Isso mesmo. Rei de Banlist. Melhor que o José Val até, mano. O pior é que eu tô gravando de Picos, mano. É porque, Picos Piauí, como eu nasci em Fortaleza, né? Eu vim pra cá. Mas aqui tá aqui, ó. O mantozão do Fortaleza. Blue Eyes tijolo. É, né? Isso mesmo. Era Blue Eyes primita, pô. Eu tava jogando.
Everyone, Billy Break here at YCS Houston. We're mere moments away from going to the top 8, and I'm here with one of our top 8 competitors, Kevin. How does it feel to be in top 8?
Thanks, Billy. Feels good to win. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Okay. So tell me about like that journey coming all the way over here for the YCS. Why did you make the trek, and are you happy with where you're at right now? Imagine so.
Of course, I'm happy where I am right now. So we decided to go to more American.
Tu é de Fortaleza, né? Mas não é da Calcaia não, né?
Lack of YCS in Europe, and we figured let's try this year. So we went to Orlando, Las Vegas, and now to Houston, and it's I like it very much.
Nice. So what is like the competition difference between playing in Switzerland and coming over to the States? Is there a difference? Is it about the same?
I'd say it's about the same. What I like about Americans, they are kind of open, you know, and they are very communicative. So I like playing against American people. Sometimes more than against European players. But I guess like some of my European colleagues can maybe relate.
That's awesome to hear. Okay, but you made it all the way to top 8. How were the Swiss rounds for you? Were they difficult? Did it go as planned? Did you play against the decks you expected to face here this weekend?
I started off playing against more of like the first 4 rounds were more some of the rogue decks, so this was more difficult. Then the deeper the tournament went, so the more Rise and Malices and the decks so I prepared for I was facing, so it was getting easier. Like easier, not the decks better, so you know how to play against them.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Is there like a key card or something that you feel like has been like your victory card that's been getting you all these wins here to make it all the way to top 8 this weekend, or has it just been your whole deck as a whole?
Not one card particularly, it's more like how the card connects.
Viu muito tiro hoje já.
It's more about the deck itself. Yeah, it's not one card particularly.
Yeah, but you got a well-built machine there. It's obviously done well for you. It's awesome that you've been coming over here. This is your 3rd American YCS in a row, pretty much, it sounds like, with Orlando and Vegas. So you want to win the YCS here, but do you have any like big ambitions for your Yu-Gi-Oh career as a whole, or is the YCS like your main goal?
Well, I think every competitive player wants to win at least one YCS and go to Worlds. So probably this is like what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, eventually maybe we'll see you at the World Championship this year. You're only a few wins away from becoming a YCS champion. Can't let the nerves set in just yet. You're still focused, remaining. Any advice you'd give to anyone else out there that's thinking about going to a YCS in the future?
Definitely do go, because like the experience is amazing, and like we travel like almost 20 hours, but it's totally worth it. And
a minha avó,
like really say is,
quando eu vou pra aí,
give up. Like sometimes
lá no Antônio Bezerra,
end up
com o nome da aeronáutica.
Winning
Vocês não
or
sabem onde é?
whatever. Don't give up. Play more. Go to more events, and eventually you'll do good.
All right, it sounds good. I hope you do well. I mean, you've already done well so far. Only a few more rounds left for you. We're going to see if we have more from Kevin in store. Stay tuned. Our top 8 feature matches coming very shortly. So don't go anywhere. We still have to find out the
Normalmente os
conclusion
decks
of
hoje não estão usando shifter.
We'll be back
Porque
shortly.
muito do
Thank
que
you
usa
so
o
much.
shifter era o Tenpai. Tenpai era meta na época, agora caiu muito, né? Aí... Aí todo final de ano eu tô por aí, pô. A gente se encontra na dominaria aí, pô. Mas... a esperança é matar o cemitério. E o cara ali de Raizial, pô, ele até conseguia fazer alguma coisa com a Bis lá, mas... cadê? Não conseguiu chegar. Então... é que nada, né? E que com certeza o meu irmão estava bem preparado contra Raizial. Então o cara já vem com a mente já. Não, vai ter de 100 deck, 40 Raizial. E 40 Raizial e que? 40 Malice. Duvidar. Aí é o top 8 agora. Tava o 32 quando foi acontecer aquela partida, né?
And welcome back to YCS Houston. It started with over 1,400 duelists, and now there are a mere 8 here as we are in the top 8. And what an incredible top cut it has been so far, right, Steven?
Absolutely incredible. We've seen Labyrinth, we've seen Mermail, we've seen all kinds of amazing upsets from this weekend in this Ryzeal and Malice-dominated event.
And I gotta say, there really isn't any clear victor of this format yet, right? Because we've seen a lot of Malice decks on the main stage not be able to make it, but somehow on the secondary stage they're able to do just fine. Vice versa with some of the Ryzeal stuff, sort of a commentator's curse. We're not trying to curse the decks, but it just rolls out that way. We've also got to see Mermail gameplay. We've seen Memento. This is a really wide open format. And now we're about to crown our champion. Well, after a couple more matches, of course.
That's right. Speaking of the matches we have to play, let's go ahead and take a look at that bracket so we can update you guys on what matches are happening right now in the top 8. We, of course, have Anthony W. facing off against Aditya D that we saw earlier, piloting that impressive Mermail deck. We have the matchup for you guys here, which is going to be Manuel K versus Nathaniel V. We're going to see them in just a moment. On the other half of the bracket, we could have other matches like Pascal M. We saw him qualify today playing Goblin Biker Memento, and he's fighting against Kai Huang, who we saw playing Labyrinth earlier. So a lot of duelists we've seen throughout this weekend. Hopefully we can see them keep doing well.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did that bracket just update in real time? I believe Kevin Z was the only one up there, but as we were speaking, Christian just advanced against Edwin, so we finally know the rest of our top 8 duelists.
It's going to be super exciting to see. I have no question that we're in for some amazing dueling gameplay.
Just great, great stuff. And, you know, you mentioned, look at that top 8, how diverse it is, right? You know Mermail's there, you know Labyrinth's in there, you know Goblin Memento is in there as well. We've got Ryzeal, we've got Bestial Malice. So again, it's one thing to just say, the format is diverse, and then, you know, you see the top cut, and maybe it's not as diverse as you think. These are literally multiple decks, and all of them are in contention to win it.
It's one thing to say that all that matters is dueling and playing your best and playing with whatever you feel comfortable with, but it's another thing to see that work for people, you know? We heard that Kai Huang was like, I just really like this deck. This is the deck that I wanted to play with and win with, and I know what I need to do against these matchups. All I have to do is do it.
Definitely got to sing the praises of a fellow cosplayer, but I love that he loved the deck first and then decided to cosplay from it, right? He wasn't one of the cosplayers just from the get-go. So really, really cool stuff. And I can't believe we can't give all of them trophies and giant cards and everything, because all of these duelists are amazing.
Oh yeah, these are all kings of the game in their own right.
Just incredible, incredible stuff. But with that in mind, we do still have to get through the top 8 bracket. And since all of these decks and duelists are known at this point, are you excited for this particular matchup?
Oh yes, the matchup we have for you guys today between Nathaniel and Manuel is going to be really exciting. We have Pure Ryzeal versus Ryzeal Fiendsmith, kind of the two winners of the Ryzeal strategies. Things like Mitsurugi were around during Supreme Darkness, and while that is still an amazing deck, I feel like for this format in particular, these two are the ones that duelists have been sort of gleaming to.
It's true that we kind of saw Mitsurugi Ryzeal sort of fall off the format. Sometimes things just kind of like fast fashion go out of vogue, but these two decks were kind of asking the same question, right? Which is the better version of this? And it's going to be really exciting to see these two go head to head.
One sort of prioritizes like very low to the ground, resilient gameplay. That's the Pure Ryzeal one. And then the Ryzeal Fiendsmith tries to add to the already impressive way to play.
Do you have a preference between the two of them? Not trying to play favorites, of course.
Well, you and I got to play during the Team YCS, and I love the way you played the Pure Ryzeal deck, and so ever since I've been like very attracted to how that strategy works.
It's kind of slow and steady wins race, which I know, again, I've said it, it's a weird thing to say again about that particular deck, but it's just so crazy. So one of those things where you really want to see the deck do what it does best, but it seems like just like the Fiendsmith engine does so much to push it over the edge. So I guess we'll have to find out when we find out.
And we're actually going to be throwing to a break in just a moment for you guys. That way we can get this top 8 matchup set up for you. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
8周年遊戯王デュエルリンクス最初は何の変哲もない1枚のカードだったはずだそれが誰かと戦うたびにその歴史がカードに刻み込まれていく歴代のエースモンスターをクロニクルカードでプレゼントそして俺のとっておきレインボーネオスも君の力になるさらに豪華プレゼントも遊戯王デュエルリンクス8周年
Hello, everyone. To all the duelists out there, we're here at YCS Houston, and we have something a little special for you that we've never done before. But we're going to do an interview with our YCS Orlando champion. We're going to ask him a few questions. I'm here with Tavion Crowley.
Howdy.
Yes, first of all, thanks for joining us here. So excited, watching your finals match in Orlando was so exciting. I had a lot of fun commentating it, but you were the winner, got to walk away with the trophy. That was your first YCS win, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, so we have some questions for you. Looking back now at all that excitement from Orlando, which was so exciting, take us back to that moment and describe how it felt to win the YCS.
I don't think you can put it to words. Like, it's an unreal feeling. I've been playing since I was 4 years old, and finally to get a win, it's just been amazing.
It was just like at that moment, that's something you've been wanting for a long time. Yeah, it really is like an epic moment to finally have that victory. So like it's a long path to get there. You mentioned you've been playing since you were 4. Was there any moments where you maybe have doubted your ability to win? And if so, like how did you push through it? How did you overcome those doubts?
After Nats last year, I took a break from the game and I had more doubts about myself. My friends encouraged me with new stuff to try again, and it worked out pretty well.
That's right. I mean, you can never give up. You always there's always another tournament to play in, right? And that could be the one.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the players who've won for us say it has to be your day. The stars kind of have to align, and all you can do is give it your best effort, right?
Always be prepared.
Always be prepared. Do the best you can. Control what you can control. What would it mean for you now that you have this opportunity here at YCS Houston to win 2 YCSs in a row, win back-to-back single-person YCSs?
It'd be amazing. Like go into another echelon of greatness. I think there's only like 4 or 5 duelists that have ever went back to back, so that would be an incredible feat.
So it's something you're really looking forward to doing. So is that something that's on your mind? Was there a way like you prepared differently for this YCS as opposed to before already having that win under your belt?
Honestly, I practiced more for this one because
Like, something to prove.
After you get that feeling, like you just want to get it again, and that's all I've been thinking about is winning again.
You want to get right back to the top of the mountain?
Yeah.
Definitely feel that. So you've been playing since you're 4. You already won a YCS. You probably learned a lot of things along the way. You talked about how it was like you had those kind of rough patch, but your friends carried you through it. Is there like an important lesson that you learned for competing at a YCS?
Discipline, definitely. Understanding that it's not always going to be your day. Matter of fact, 99% of the time, it's not going to be your day. But you even learn like life lessons, like just keep trying and keep improving time after time.
Never giving up. Yep. Yeah. I would say the same thing as advice. Definitely great. So how has winning the YCS impacted your life in the short time since then?
I've had more people come up to me and talk to me about it. It's been good growth for our team and stuff.
Nice.
And it's like gave me more confidence in my abilities, not even just in the game, but in life in general. More confident about myself.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. You realize like you can believe in yourself and achieve what you want to achieve, and applying that to just your regular life. Yeah, that's so good to hear. So awesome. Now moving away, kind of just more specific about the YCS, but into this like format in particular. Are there any underrated decks or tech cards that you've seen out there in the meta that maybe deserve more attention that might be flying under the radar?
At this point in the game, or like in the format, I don't think there's really any hidden text. I think it's just comes down to who executes better along the course of the tournament.
Yep. So yeah, having that strong mentality makes a lot of sense.
Whoever makes the least mistakes.
Yeah, you're staying on top of your game for sure. Now, I mean, you won a YCS. I know a lot of the things, well, at least for a lot of my memories in tournaments, it's about who I played along the way. Who I got the wins against means a lot too. Is there anyone you're looking forward to facing here at YCS Houston that you'd love to add to your resume of maybe duelists you defeated?
I'd like to play against Dominic Couch. He beat me. Well, he's beat me 3 times. I haven't beat him yet, but I want to beat him in top cut. I think that'd be amazing.
That was Dominic Couch, yeah, 3-time Team YCS champion, amazing duelist, definitely a monster. So that's a good one to pick, but ambitious. But I think you might be able to do it if anyone can in the room. That's for sure. So last question. You talked about how you made it to the highest level. You're a YCS champion. Is there any advice you'd give to people that also want to become a YCS champion?
Keep practicing. First and foremost.
Practice makes work. You have to actually sit down and play, right?
You have to actually
Theory
play.
can only take you so far.
Don't be afraid to try new things or different things from the grade. Like when it's necessary, because
you never know if you don't try it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So trying things, staying strong mental, definitely great advice to give. Well, I'm excited to see how you're going to do this weekend. It's going to be a good YCS. I hope everyone watching has been enjoying the YCS so far. We have a lot more YCS action coming up. So thank you for joining us for YCS Houston coverage. Thank you, Tavion, for talking to us. We have more dueling going on, so stick around, everyone. It's time to duel.
And welcome back. We interrupt what I was previously saying to bring you more important information. Apparently, we're not doing the Rizal mirror match. We're actually going to be showing you Kai Huang versus Pascal on the Goblin Memento. So we get to see Labyrinth versus Goblin Memento instead, which is really exciting.
So are you saying because me and you are going to be commentating the Memento and the Labyrinth player who's a cosplayer? Interesting.
No, I didn't have anything to do with it. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. Just because I play Memento and I cosplay doesn't mean that I canceled the Rizal. I also play Rizal. Rizal for somebody in the chat. I understand. But yeah, no, we are going to be showing Kai Huang versus Pascal, so my apologies for the previous thing. We've got those players ready on the stage, so you know what to do, fam.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see Jackie and talk to those players.
The pressure building, 100 sent home, and now only 8 remain. Are we ready for this top 8 feature match? Well, let's begin with the blue chair. And we have Pascal Maniguet from Elmont, New York. He loves weightlifting, and his PR, 380 pounds for squat. Now to the red chair, Kai Zhang from Alhambra, California. His fun fact, he speaks 3 languages, Chinese, Japanese, and English. Okay, crowd, are we ready for this top 8 match? All right, let's get started, sending it back to our casters.
Thank you so much, Jackie. That's some very appropriate hype for this top 8 match between Kai Huang and Pascal. We, of course, have Pascal playing the Goblin Memento deck we saw earlier today, and Kai Huang piloting the Labyrinth deck as Arius himself.
Just incredible, incredible stuff so far from both of these competitors, using decks that you don't necessarily see every day, especially on the Labyrinth side, but they're also known for being able to go the distance. It's going to be really interesting to see how this particular matchup plays, just like when we saw Kai on the featured match stage last time.
A couple of things to note, too, about this top 8 match. Not only is it their only chance to potentially get into the top 4 and then, of course, later on in the finals, but they're going to have 55 minutes instead of the normal 45 that they're used to all weekend. So a bit more time so we can have a more decisive victor.
Certainly is not going to go down to the wire on this one. 55 minutes should be enough time for these 2 crazy combo decks to finish everything that they do. But they're also known for being able to play almost indefinitely, so maybe we'll go the full 55.
Yeah, we see that Kai Huang is probably not a stranger to playing against these more rampant combo decks like Memento using his own Labyrinth, but I'm actually curious how Pascal can combat what will be the impressive trap cards that Kai Huang will use to leverage against him.
Well, we know that the face-down monsters don't necessarily lock you out of the fusion summons, and so perhaps that is the way that we're going to see Pascal be able to punch through those trap cards, right? Being able to make a Guardian Chimera on call could help, because sometimes Kai will get stuck on trap cards that can't be activated during the same turn, although relatively rarely based on his previous performance. But he's got his work cut out for both of these duelists, really do.
Oh yeah, it's going to be super exciting to see how these duelists combat this matchup and hopefully earn their right to be in the top 4 of YCS Houston.
Kai's definitely got great energy, and Pascal, certainly having been up on the stage before, a little loosened up from his first appearance there. Nothing wrong with being steely and just focused on the duel, but it's always great when somebody has a good time because you know they're relaxed and in their elements.
I wonder if we should keep an internal tally of how many times Kai Huang summons Arius during this match, because it's like, how many times have you played yourself this game?
You played yourself. Well, I know you used it once, at least a special summon it on the reaction on that previous duel that we saw. So that's one you keep track in the chat for us.
Oh, we're immediately going to the roll, it looks like.
Oh, maybe that roll doesn't count. Looks like we're setting the dice aside.
Okay, yeah.
Look at the smile. There we go.
Pascal's getting a little antsy. He's like, I want to get this game going. Let me earn my right for top 4.
I told you he was comfortable. Maybe a little too comfortable, but great. They are just smiling like two old friends ready to just play a good old hearty game of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game.
They've worked very hard to get here. Which one will come out on top as the duelists get their shuffle decks to each other, and they're ready to, I think, start this top 8 match.
And what's kind of cool, too, we talked about how this was an international affair, right? We got to see Kevin all the way from Europe earlier, Billy interviewing him. But this is an East Coast, West Coast match. It's California versus New York.
Very true.
Getting little rivalries from across the nation as we sort of set the stage over the next couple of months. We'll have some new formats, new packs coming out in between. But the NAWCQ will be upon us before you know it. So
all right, our duelists are shuffled up. They're waiting patiently for the judges to give them the go-ahead so that way they can start playing. You can totally tell they're like, we're here, we know what we're going to do. We just want to go ahead and get it done.
Judges are also locked in and ready to go. So it's time. We've already seen the dice roll, so let's get into the gameplay here. It is going to be game 1 of the top 8.
Definitely this dice roll is going to be more important than maybe others have been in the past, because Labyrinth plays very differently when it goes first or going second. Has options in both modes, but I definitely know Kai Huang would prefer first.
So we are going high roll. Now the official high roll. 8, not too bad. Kai rolls.
That is 10.
Oh, wow.
That is more than enough to give Kai the right to pick which goes first or second. Alrighty, two duelists having a great fist bump here. They're going to draw their opening hand of 5 cards, and we're going to get this game underway.
All right. So it's great when Labyrinth gets go first. You do miss out on 1 extra card, but as we saw, Kai has emptied his hand on turn 0.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not a big a deal as we discard Stovatory and Absolute King Backjack.
Those are 2 cards made in heaven right there. We're going to go ahead and get that search for a trap card. Going to get Welcome Labyrinth, and then on resolution, we'll be able to activate a new chain of Backjack as we send to the graveyard to rearrange the top 3 cards of our deck.
Well, Kai's been a gentleman before. Maybe he'll show us what those 3 cards are. Let's see.
Let's see, I see an Ariana. Oh, wow, you're psychic. He knows how to do a good show. Dimensional Barrier and Arius.
Thanks, Kai.
So because he's at the Backjack, he will be able to, if he puts a trap card on top, be able to activate it from the top of his deck, essentially, during Pascal's turn. And I don't see any more monsters in Kai Huang's hand, so he's just going to pass his turn and say, go ahead.
What a gentleman, just extending that hand.
He may have only have set 4, but thanks to that Backjack, it's essentially a set 5 and pass. If he put the D-Barrier on top, I'm not sure.
Oh, I think it could be D-Barrier.
It is.
Oh, wow.
And that card can be activated this turn thanks to Backjack.
Certainly will help. Memento is known for fusions.
So there's the special of Tatsuno Toshigo. On summon, I don't think Kai has anything. This would be a good time for our Dreamer Macabre Cannon. Nice, there it is. He's going to be go ahead and set that Tatsuno Toshiko face down so it won't be able to destroy itself and get that dump of 5 levels for Memento cards.
Every deck has some kind of weakness to it, right? Just something it can't get done in all circumstances. They always talk about how card effects have to resolve, but in Memento they have to activate. They're a little bit vulnerable because it's a mostly ignition effect-based deck.
But like you said, being set
Mas
face
LIST
down isn't that
TCG,
big
né?
because you can
Mas
still
cadê,
fusion
né?
with them.
Que não chega,
Not
né?
with that dimensional barrier at the ready.
Vai ter um nome aí,
But,
Miles.
ooh,
Insanos,
Goblin
hein?
Breaker, Grand Breakout. Let's go ahead and get something, unless we're gonna Dominus Impulse. No, we're not Dominus Impulsing, so it's Goblin time.
Yep, there we go. The Mementotlin Goblin's going to be hitting the board, and we also get a nice send from the deck using this card's effect.
Sendo bem realista, não se sabe nem se sai mesmo hoje.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and send 2 cards here by destroying the Goblin.
So 2 Memento names down, 3 to go.
This would be a prime time for maybe Gaddock and Anguish, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. We'll see what he goes for. There's the Gaddock. Always nice to send that and get the free body.
Really has helped this deck really push over the edge. Gaddock just a great card for sure, but the second card is going to be important. Also could be sleepy, but that Dimensional Barrier is terrifying.
But I guess if you force the barrier out, you still have access to your Link plays if you play any of those, and maybe even your XEs, because we know that Pascal plays Big Gavanga.
Oh, that's right, because we did get to see it earlier.
But how useful is Big Gavanga going to be in this matchup? I don't think it even really interacts with Kai Huang's board at all. Ooh, we're actually going to get the Memento Field spell sent to the graveyard here using Goblin's effect. I believe you totally can do that. It just says cards for Goblin.
That is right. And the reason why, of course, is because Memento Mictlan is usually able to set various cards, but that's an interesting way to go ahead and get it set, and using it to add it back. Nice.
Pascal still has not used his normal summon for turn yet. Everything has been a special summon so far, but we haven't seen any sign of Anguish or Darkblade in his hand. But there is the Sleepy. Kai Wong just getting a clarification on how it fusion summons. I believe once it's summoned to the field, it'll be a quick effect to be able to do that.
So Memento Monster was destroyed, so that's how you're getting the special summon.
Yes.
In the hand, chain D-Bear, call fusion.
Okay, so there we have the chain of the effective Sleepy to summon itself with D-Barrier to call fusion monsters, meaning all fusions have their effects negated and they cannot be summoned.
I gotta read this. Sorry.
Special summon a Memento Monster for my deck.
So we are going to go ahead and destroy a Memento Monster on resolution and then special summon or add to the hand. That's important for some of the bigger Memento Monsters.
This is very true.
There's no cost?
No, it's not.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, on resolution it destroys. It's like part of the effect, essentially.
Absolutely correct.
It's kind of like, what's that new Skytraker card? Linkage. I say new, but the newest one.
I'm going to trigger Anguish to add a Memento.
Card or
monster?
Monster.
So Anguish will be able to search here after being specialed off of Bone Party. Maybe Mace or Darkblade probably would be a really good thing for him so we can just get more of his names in the yard while cycling through.
Fusions may be gone, but combining 5 names is not a fusion summon when it comes to combined creation.
That's true. You can essentially have a pseudo fusion summon by using the summoning mechanic of combined creation. And there we have 2 level 3 monsters. Going to be XZ summoning here into Big Gabanga. On summon, this will let him search for another Goblin card. We could see the Doug Charger coming out and just get the extra body for some maybe link climbing or just get more resources essentially for Pascal.
Still haven't seen any of the Speedroids that we saw earlier when he was scrolling through his deck. Obviously a little too late for opening up with no monsters to get that Speedroid Terratop, but you're right, there's the Doug Charger from the deck to the hand.
And that will be able to summon itself by removing one of the materials from his own Big Gabanga and then give him extra cards on board. It is worth noting that it is Pascal's going second, so he might be looking to deal some damage this turn if he can. Oh, speaking of which, we're in the battle phase. We're going to attack with Big Gabanga. On attack declaration, it looks like Kai has a response of Welcome Labyrinth to summon.
Okay.
That is good. No Ash Blossom from Pascal's side, so Kai's just going to go ahead and search his deck for one of the big ladies. Going to get Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle herself. And then on a new chain, I think he'll be able to...
That's 0 triggers.
I love that Kai is singing out his plays, by the way, whenever he gets one of the boss monsters from the Labyrinth strategy. Just the energy in him comes alive.
We're going to swing with the Big Gabanga. I believe it has a battle effect that would it out the lady? Does it only sucks up monsters if it uses its effect to detach, correct?
And typically attaching monsters doesn't target, but let's see what happens next.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, the attack is good. I believe that means Pascal would take some damage because the Big Gabanga only has 21 attack.
Not the worst idea trying to crash into it.
Oh, here we see the second effect of Goblin Grand Breakout in the graveyard, banishing itself. And now we're going to detach, and we're going to use Big Gabanga's effect, like I thought, to attach the Lady of the Silver Castle. But I'm not sure if Pascal took damage.
Well, I guess we'll get the life pods updated in just a moment here, but interesting to see that actually protected there for sure. Yep, and
it destroys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or it sends to the graveyard. One of those
it would have to send to the graveyard because there are face-down cards on the field, and Lady Silver does not usually get destroyed in that situation.
Ooh, and because we attack with an XZ monster, we go into Zeus in main phase 2. We're going to activate Zeus's effect to send all of the cards on the field to the graveyard. We're going to chain Big Welcome to that, and we're going to chain Trap Trick to our very own Big Welcome.
Oh, and huge to set the transaction rollback to basically get free traps, right? Because since that's getting sent to the graveyard, it's always the hardest part of transaction rollback is how are you going to get it to the graveyard. Easier in Labyrinth because you can discard it. But using Trap Trick, that's huge because the Zeus actually is helping here.
Yeah, we've been seeing Memento all weekend long dominate with fusion monsters, so of course Kai was like, Dimension Barrier Call Fusion, but who knows, these XZs could also force him into some pretty sticky situations.
Well, it's been kind of something we've picked up since last year. The Dimensional Barrier is a great card, but typically the Fiendsmith engine gives you something that is Dimensional Barrier immune. What a great way to play around Dimensional Barrier. Just start XZ summoning. I'm not going to fuse.
Another heads-up play here from Kai. He went ahead and used his Bill Welcome to summon back the lady that's in his graveyard, and then in the same chain, as part of the same effect, add it back to his hand to dodge the Zeus sending it to the graveyard. And now, like you said, we have rollback plus a Big Welcome in the yard.
And that is a big old graveyard full of traps. Incredible. And since transaction rollback is there, it could be used to banish itself, pay those life points, and chain to a fusion summon effect and grab the effective dimensional barrier to stop it.
And Kai may only have 1 card in hand, but we've seen him be more than comfortable at 0 cards in hand, so this game is far from over.
Speaking of cards in hand, it's time to drop down the Memetotlin Tekutlika combined creation.
We have exactly 5 different names in the graveyard, so it's going to be able to meet its summoning condition and be summoned from the hand. And that man is an absolute house. But not having any mementos in the graveyard does make him a little bit weaker during Kai's turn.
Just a little bit. You won't be able to summon an Anguish and then be able to grab something like Memetotlin Goblin or Mace from the deck.
Here we see a bit of a pause here. I think the judges are just clarifying something or just asking a question. Are they asking about how the previous chain was resolved?
Oh, how interesting. I overheard our assistant head judge. So Goblin Biker Grand Breakout only works on attack declaration. But a replay, when a monster is summoned in the middle of an attack and you redeclare the attack, it's not an attack declaration. So we're going to have to rewind the game state.
Right, because the Grand Breakout, which I believe was used to send the lady to the...
but we might be doing an accepted game state here.
We'll see. They might update us as the game goes on, but right now they're just trying to figure out how that exact interaction went.
It is important that both players know what's going on, right? If you read your tournament policy guidelines, both players have an obligation to maintain a correct game state. So both players had an equal opportunity to say, hey, this card doesn't do what it's trying to do or what you say it does. So that's important, especially at this stage of game. You know, it's fun. You can get comfortable here on the stage, but we might have gotten just a little too comfortable, so we are going to, I believe, have an accepted game state because it doesn't look like we're winding it back.
Yep, it looks like here we're going to be resolving the effect of Memento Mictlan here. Kai Wong just clarifying what that card does for himself as well.
Probably means a procedural error minor for both of these players, but it doesn't seem like it's getting upgraded, obviously, since I don't think that's something that happens every day, for sure.
Right. We'll update you guys if anything changes, of course, with that, but let's go ahead and watch this game here and see what happens next. I think Kai's is debating if he wants to interact with this at all. I think the only option he has is to activate Lady's effect to summon herself because a trap has been activated this turn. Should go ahead and get summoned out there.
Oh, and then banishing the transaction rollback to use the effect of a normal trap card. And that's going to be Trap Trick, setting the cannon.
I pay more than 4,000 because I pay less than 4,000 because I took damage already. I mean, it's okay. We don't have to keep life. If I'm losing, I don't know.
So we did get a update from the judges, just like what we said, Grand Breakout's Graveyard Effect cannot be used here, so it's only on attack declaration. Both players did receive a procedural error minor, but it's just a warning, even at this stage of gameplay.
Yeah, just as you said, Steven, it was just like an interesting situation that you don't see every day. Replays are not considered attack declarations.
Thank you for the update, judges. Got a little ahead of myself, a little experience there, but seems like everything is fine as we continue through the end phase to use the Karma Cannon to flip some monsters face down.
Chain to the effect, or is it a new chain?
It's a new chain.
New chain? So I'll chain to set trap. Hey, you almost got me with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna set.
Yeah, so there we see Kai. They're just clarifying that he can actually chain to his own trap card using Lady because Memento Creation would trigger on a different chain, so it does not chain block the Lady's effect is set.
It does it anytime? Yeah. I did not know that, guys. I did not know that. I'm a bozo.
Kai being a little hard on himself there and calling himself a poser. You are not a poser, Kai. But it is true that you can really use Memento Mictlan whenever you need to set that, and so he is going to go ahead and set down an extra bone party for later. And it's important because it could destroy a Memento monster in the hand if there is one in Pascal's hand.
Very true. Right now he cannot get rid of his migration because that card does not know that it is a Memento monster because it is set face down.
Oh, yeah, good point.
No, Trap Trick set rollback, and then I didn't use a trap after that. Yeah. Daruma is the only trap activated after Trap Trick.
Yeah, so we're just clarifying that he was still able to activate Daruma because the Trap Trick just sent the rollback because it was destroyed by the Zeus. But the only trap card he activated from the field has been the Daruma Karma Cannon. But I think, because the phrasing of Trap Trick does not say that trap card, it says one more trap after this card's been activated. It doesn't matter which trap card it is, but after that, no more.
That is correct there. And so this is an interesting matchup because neither deck necessarily puts out complicated mechanics or gameplay, but overwhelmingly putting out so much stuff that it is a very draining duel on both players. Just lots of little micro interactions. So certainly after a long couple of days, that stuff's going to happen, but looks like play will continue from here.
We saw Kai's top deck being Ariana, the Labyrinth Servant, but in response to that summon's effect, we have Pascal activating Momental Infusion. That is a way to get this combined creation back in the graveyard and use up that Memento name and access Bone Party. But does Pascal have another Memento in hand? He must, right? Do we know any cards in his hand at this point? I don't think so.
But it could be a Guardian Chimera too. Look, 2 monsters on the field, 1 in the hand.
And they have different names. You're totally right. Imagine a Zeus and a 5,000 attack by monster being used to make a weaker monster.
Only in Yu-Gi-Oh! Would you combine 2 monsters to make a smaller monster, right? But it is going to be very clutch if he happens to do that. He wouldn't be able to destroy the Lady of the Silver Castle, but... Oh, we're going to bounce.
Guess right, Big Welcome Labyrinth can chain anything, and that means Memento Infusion resolves without effect.
I think it was definitely the Guardian Chimera there. What a heads-up play.
You could totally see Kai going, okay, what's he summoning? What's he summoning? What's he summoning? It's got to be Chimera. I'm going to get rid of that Zeus, put it back in your extra deck.
You know this?
Okay.
It was set last turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because, but one thing that Kai is denying himself is the ability to activate that set Big Welcome that he has on board, but he's Ariana, he's getting Welcome, sorry, he's getting Labyrinth. I was going to say Welcome. That'll make his Welcome Labyrinth way more powerful.
Certainly a welcome feeling as the field spell hits the field.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, resolution of adding Labyrinth, anything.
Set. Summon.
Yep, we're going to activate the effect of Labyrinth Stormy Torby to summon itself, and we're going to set Welcome Labyrinth from the graveyard.
Oh, that's gonna hurt, guys. All right.
Ooh.
Oh, unfortunately though, he did commit to activating the Welcome Labyrinth, the Labyrinth, and I do think that means he misses the opportunity to bring back the Stormy and the Welcome Labyrinth.
He does because he missed the triggers, and it is really important. Verbal commitment like that, it takes over your actual hand commitment. So, tournament policy guidelines, definitely something you have to adhere to, especially at this stage of play.
We still have the Big Welcome to bounce and summon from the deck, which is really valuable for Kai here because you can summon Lovely, then bounce something else.
Summon, then bounce.
We're going to chain that to set. There could have been a world here where Pascal chained his own Bone Party to stop the Lady Labyrinth from summoning, because this will give Kai the Welcome Labyrinth he wanted last turn.
So Kai found a way to get back, probably needs to slow down, right? There's a lot of Labyrinth and cosplayer fans certainly cheering him on, but at the same time, Pascal just kind of holding it together, making sure to make concise, decisive plays, and by doing slow and steady, that may win him the match here, so we shall see how this proceeds.
We see Kai eyeing that trap trick there, but he's going to choose to get the Dominus Impulse set here to maybe turn off any shenanigans like that known Bone Party from being able to summon, and we're going to add back the Lady of the Silver Castle here with our effect. Yeah, just clarifying which effect adds the card back to the hand. It's all one effect for Big Welcome Labyrinth because he controls a level 8 Fiend monster.
I'll pop Bone Party.
So using the full effect of the field spell and getting rid of the Bone Party before there's even an opportunity to use it. And obviously, there's no face-up Memento monster or anything left in the hand that would be Memento.
Yep, and then here we have the new chain here of Ariana, and then chaining the Stovey Torby, and of course the Welcome Labyrinth to reset itself.
So all's well that ends well for Kai. Managed to still get that same play back, but he's going to have to be very careful again. Remember, there can be upgrades. We've seen that before during the tournament. We would hate to see this duel decided that way.
Yeah, you can definitely get a little too exciting when you see like an open game state. You're like, I can just play, right? And then you miss a step every here and there. So here we're going to chain something as Pascal here. We're going to chain Forbidden Droplet.
Ooh.
We're going to be sending our combined creation and the Memento Field spell to target both of the monsters and negate their effects, and you can't respond with monsters or spell cards.
Yes, cross.
This and this?
Yeah.
Let's see. I wonder what Kai's thinking. No response there, so both those monsters will be halved and their effects will be negated, but we'll get the Welcome Labyrinth set and the Stovey Torby summon.
Now, I'm certainly not trying to clamp down on the duel. Certainly a lot of nerves when you have made it to the top 8 of a YCS.
Ooh, and normal summon Anguish for Pascal is huge because that turns on all of the Memento cards that he put back in his deck last turn. There we see the Tatsu no Toshigo, and this time I don't think Kai has any way to stop this. All he has is Impulse. We're going to use the effect here and send 5 levels worth of Memento monsters to the graveyard. This will be all Pascal needs. If something like Creation King hits the board here, I feel like Pascal could just have the game this turn.
We knew this was going to be a wild and crazy duel. I don't think we could expect this.
This is still game 1.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yep, so we're sending Mace Goblin, and we're going to use Garrick to summon itself back. And then we're going to use Gascon Summon Effect to add back Memento card to the hand. This could get back the field spell like we saw turn 1. There's currently no Sleepy. You could also get the fusion spell here that we haven't used yet. That could be pretty huge. We do see him going for the fusion. We're going to use Anguish's effect, targeting Gaddock.
That's all she wrote, though. Kai has decided to concede this game. Maybe needs a little bit of a breather and to get back in.
I'm sure he's kicking himself with that bit of a misplay there with the Welcome Labyrinth. Just getting, Labyrinth. Oh, before that, Chain Link 1, yeah. That's the kind of thing that'll kind of haunt you here in this matchup. But hopefully he can forget it. This duel's over. He's going to go on to games 2 and 3, and Pascal is the winner of this one.
I think it was mostly decided with gameplay. The only opportunity might have been to set an additional trap card there with the Stovey Torby, but seems like things have kind of calmed down for both duelists, but both duelists, again, showing a little bit of nerves. We know that they haven't been this far into an event before. And even if you get comfortable, sometimes you can get too comfortable, right? There's slow play and there's too fast play, and we've seen a little bit of both throughout the tournament, but seems like they're okay. We've got a great, assistant head judge up there to kind of instruct them, make sure they're following all the rules here. So as they side deck, what do you think they're thinking about in far as this matchup goes?
It feels like for Kai, it's only as simple as making sure that you prioritize the kinds of interactions that stop your opponent from going for those big resource gains. Like if he can keep Creation King off the board, he can win the grind game against Pascal. And Pascal's going, how can I protect my combos from these trap cards? There's very few ways for him to actually interact with them. The best he can do probably is put in cards that actually increases his advantage, like Molcharmies. But as we've seen, Kai can play around those pretty easily.
Certainly can, and there is certainly, we talked about how Labyrinth has a sort of vulnerability to each and every Molcharmy, but you also could just save the plays for next turn. Unlike other decks, when the Molcharmy comes down and they just say, you know what, I skipped my turn, it's your move. Kai literally could say, I'm just going to wait until we cross the end phase, and now that it's your turn, it's my move.
Or the real Doom scenario, you go Fuelos, Perulia, and they go, okay, cool, set 5 pass. And you're like, oh no, I just went -2 for no reason.
What special summons? Looks like both duelists are locked in now. Pascal just calmly going through the cards there as he pile shuffles. Kai doing much the same.
It's very nice, though, to see both these duelists playing at the highest level of play possible. We saw some impressive plays there from Kai, being able to counter Pascal at every turn, but was stymied there just at the last moment.
And while the conversation was dominated by nerves, I think really that was a duel decided by their cards. So neither duelist doing anything wrong here. I think they're going to go into the next one maybe a little bit calmer, more collected. But they're still doing a great job of maximizing how much value they get out of these decks that just play and play and play.
Yep, and they have at least 35 minutes on the clock for both of these games, so they have plenty of time to play it out and see which duelist is the better one this go around.
Not going to be a photo finish here, but let's get into game 2 to find out if Pascal will win this one and advance to the next, or Kai will bring it back for a game 3.
Alrighty, both players seem ready to go. My assumption is that Kai has chosen to go first. They're going to draw their opening hands. Let's have a good duel, boys.
Is that my main phase?
Start of main phase 1, Pot of X-Draft. Kai loves doing this. A really cool thing about this card is that it can actually bait any of your opponent's Ash Blossoms that they might have in your hand. That can open up your Labyrinth cards to being safer. That's pretty cool.
Especially considering that drawing 2 cards, you want to Ash Blossom that, but maybe be the least of your problems here. But let's see what 2 cards we draw. I definitely saw a Transaction rollback.
Ooh, I see a big welcome and a trap trick. I think Kai has everything he wants to be a happy camper as a Labyrinth player. Starting off with Torby sending Draglier. Sorry, Chan Draglier. That'll go ahead and let him set another trap card. My guess is he wants Welcome Labyrinth. Yep, that'll be the best one to kind of get him into the rest of his engine. And then I think I saw 4 purple cards, so it's going to be set 5 total and pass.
I think you're right. Set, 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 set.
All we got to do.
Oh,
All right, so over to Pascal. Let's see how he can
Logo
combat this.
5 cards.
Many YCSs ago when an Eldritch Duelist set 5 and the crowd cheered. This is
É o
wild to see
jogador
set
de
5 in
Labyrinth.
2025.
Here we have the Welcome Labyrinth. You can probably get Lady here. Usually the first one you want to start with because that gets you into even more trap cards during this turn. Yep, there she is, Lady of the Silver Castle.
Anything on Rose? No.
Ah, Lady Labyrinth, certainly putting in work. I think she's been the MVP of this particular set of duels.
Oh, 100%. Usually the most consistent Lady Labyrinth monster, whereas Lovely's more of a payoff for all your already set up cards.
Well, the Queen sits on her throne, but she hasn't arrived yet. We're taking a deep look into Mementotlin Darkblade here to consider whether or not we want to stop it. Would be kind of scary. Are we activating the effect here? Oh, yep. Does it go with the field spell zone?
Yeah, it was originally in the farthest right zone. Or left if you're Pascal.
Peraí.
Right, we're just going to go ahead and destroy the Mementalin Dark Blade to special summon level 3, and there's the Anguish in attack mode.
We're doing everything we need.
Mementalin spell zone.
Yeah.
Taking a deep
Cards. Consistent.
Foi, tá certo.
Or left if you're Pascal.
response, so
Uma
searching out a
latinha.
memento monster from the deck to the hands.
This could be a Sleepy line. This could be a Goblin line. This could be... Probably that's it, because you want to be able to maybe protect your... No, probably just normal summon Goblin could be pretty cool here. But we are going to get the Tatsuno Toshigo.
Kind of have to push the envelope there. When you're staring down 4 face-down cards, eventually you have to get rid of some of those before you bring out your biggest bosses.
If Kai does not already have a Karma Cannon, he might force it out here from Pascal. There we see the big welcome. This will let him put back the Tatsuno Toshigo in Pascal's hand because he does control a level 8 Fiend. And then he's going to chain the Ladies effect to set another trap card.
And we've already normal summoned. I've seen some desperation play where a Tatsuno Toshigo was tribute summoned, but not this turn. Oh, but there's the cannon.
It currently cannot be played this turn, I believe, because Lady does not let you do that.
Unless we get to a coup clock, but there is no clock in sight. Speaking of the clock, we got 33 minutes, so plenty of dueling time left.
Ooh, we're getting Ariana, and Ariana can get the coup clock, right?
That's true.
Because Labyrinth does not negate their effects.
Chain 2 to add back, summon, set to the field.
So let's see, Chain Link 4 is going to be Welcome Labyrinth to set itself. Chain Link 3 is going to be Stoby Torby to summon, Draglier to add back to hand, and then Ariana to search. Chain 5 for Pascal is going to be Forbidden Droplet on the Ariana, would be pretty huge here. We're going to go ahead and send that Otaka Tomborg from his hand to the graveyard, the patented Speedroid engine requirement.
Not getting locked in a win for now, but
We have another
cannon!
Daruma Karma Cannon! It was the
Darum.
biggest bane of Kai's life.
Ceboso.
Yo, just proving that it is in fact a different one. Don't worry. Pascal's like, but you said that this turn. I was like, I did set this one this turn, but not this one.
Keeping great track here.
Now, does that mean that Droplet no longer applies to Ariana because it's been set face down? Is it like imperm like that, or does it not target?
So you negate face-up cards during the resolution
Yeah.
of Forbidden Droplet, and since it's no longer face-up, you can't negate that
Nope,
face-up.
cansei.
So you look at the search of the coup clock, and so now if he wants to, he can activate the other Daruma Karma Cannon.
Cool.
Really heads up play from Kai, getting a card that he already had set face down.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Amazing play right there. It is worth noting that Pascal has used his normal, but he has Momental Infusion, and we have the hard draw D-Barrier calling Fusion. Pascal at a loss for words, at a loss for actions, but he's going to keep playing, and he's going to banish that Fusion from his graveyard to activate its second effect. Just making sure he has a clarification of how this one works. Yes.
Just on the edge of my seat here, because every one of these plays is absolutely incredible. Every one of these plays is pushing the envelope of this, and Kai just had some great luck with that opening hand, drawing exactly the normal trap cards he needed.
Tatsuno Toshigo hits the graveyard, and now Pascal is searching his deck for another Memento monster. Oh, are they clarifying if Fusion can send face-down monsters?
It summoned after. It was Daruma resolved before this came out.
Oh, they're asking if the Stoby Torby should be face down. I believe it was Chain Link 3 and Daruma Karma Cannon was Chain Link 6.
I don't know. You guys are keeping track of the
Yeah, red.
So yeah.
What did you search? Sorry.
Party?
Yep, so we got Bone Party thanks to Fusion.
It summons from deck.
Also can add to hand, although it doesn't seem like that effect is being used much.
It can still be Ash Blossom, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think Kai has that. So we're going to send the Goblin from hand to the graveyard, or destroy it, I should say.
Destroy. Now that it's destroyed... It's funny, too. I mean, you can see Goblin having a party right there on the art.
What other Memento extenders could he do? He currently does not have the names for Combined Creation. He could get Mace and maybe use that during Kai's turn to maybe stymie him from going for game.
But Mace only works when you have Combined Creation on the field.
Oh, you're totally right. I'm not sure what Pascal has access to anymore. He's gone through almost everything. Not being able to get into Creation King has been super tough for him both these games here.
Well, it's the one inherent advantage, right? We've joked about how the Pot of Extravagance means you don't care about your extra deck, but Kai doesn't care about your extra deck either, but he does grab the Mace and special summon to the field. Of course, he could destroy itself to grab another Memento card from the deck to the hand. I wonder what sort of miracle panacea he's looking for.
We could get Sleepy, but without being able to Fusion Summon, what's Sleepy doing for you?
Think here.
He's like, I'm good. He's going to activate the effect on resolution of the summon of Kuklock to be able to activate a set trap card that he played this turn. And there we see Pascal scooping it up. The second Karma Cannon is too much.
So one thing, not only do the effects have to resolve, but they do have to be able to activate it. And if that monster's face down, it just isn't happening. So Kai has a little bit of smile on his face, a lot of relief, a lot of energy too as he slams back to the chair, takes a smile at the crowd as they applaud for him, a little fist pump there. But he is not out of the woods yet. Pascal is still demonstrating great play here. So he's got to dig himself out of this hole, but he'll be able to go first. Depending on what Kai gets in his opening hand, may mean that, well, Pascal is able to run away with this duel.
I feel like Kai Wong definitely made it up to himself about that maybe misstep he had in game 1. He played that game 2 like an absolute master and truly dominated.
Well, his game plan was to win 2 out of 3. He's still got to do just the same.
Yes, this game 3 is going to decide who is going to be in our first semifinalist for YCS Houston. I imagine both these duelists are both ready, but also extremely nervous.
Kind of a wild one here, but there's the smile again, that trophy within reach. But you haven't earned it yet, Kai.
What would you say is the percentage buff that Kai gets for being dressed as Aries playing the Labyrinth deck?
You know, I don't know if you get any gameplay buffs, but man, the Riz is on point.
Yeah, the spirituality buff is what I'll say. Like, his spirits will be high no matter what. He's on camera, he's in top 8, and he's playing Labyrinth dressed as Arius. That's got to be a win no matter what happens here today.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes that's enough to get you through the next game. Not to say that if you come here dressed in comfortable clothes, locked in on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, you're not going to do well, because Pascal is doing exactly that. But you're right that if you're just feeling it, you don't get those doubts in your head. You're not thinking, what if I do this? What if I do that? Now, that did get Kai into trouble during game 1, but he definitely has the energy for it. So let's see if the cards can do the same for him.
Something in Pascal's favor here is that this will be the first game where he gets to go first, and he potentially gets to go as unfettered as possible, depending on if Kai has any really powerful side deck techs, of course. But I bet you Pascal feels super confident. We know that he's playing a deck that he's more than comfortable with, and he's playing a really interesting version of it that includes some awesome sub-engines like the Goblin Bikers and the Speedroids.
We haven't seen a Takatomborg. Could you imagine we start off this last duel just Speedvoid Takatomborg and the eyes just jump out of Kai's head?
I mean, we have seen the Takatomborg in hand, but we haven't seen the Terratop plus Takatomborg patented 2-punch combo, which would be super awesome for Pascal.
Pascal just taking a little breath there. Got to get it done. Kai just looking out to the crowd, gathering energy. Oh, there's the smile. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of duelists are in focus mode until the game is over. You know this as well as I do.
Just that feeling of relief. You're like, oh, I won. Oh, I could win again.
My emotions, they've been unlocked. They're no longer distractions.
Well, we are here at the YCS after all. So let's find out in our game 3 who is going to move on from top 8 to top 4.
We've got Kai Wong on the right. We have Pascal on the left. Memento versus Labyrinth. This is going to be one heck of a show. Everyone lock in.
See a good, clean match.
Standby phase.
It's time to duel. Pascal, of course, starting off, and he's leading with Memento and Goblin. That's a pretty good start here. Going to get 2 cents from the deck. Kai Wong just making sure he's like, I want to understand fully what's about to happen to me right now. Yeah, that's fine. He's going to destroy itself.
Yes.
And then send 2 more cards to the graveyard. We're going to send Gaddock, and we're going to send Fusion. Really nice, getting extra access to more Memento cards.
Wow.
Chain Link 1, Gaddock, Chain Link 2, Meow was going to get that draw because a card was summoned from the graveyard, which is something that Memento loves to do.
The forgotten Mulcharmy of the format. We've seen lots of Purulia, we have seen lots of Fualos, but Meows has taken the stage.
As a Malice player, that is a very scary card.
Well, I mean, you know, Kai said earlier in his interview that he thought the best deck was Mallow, so he came equipped for it, and that will help him in this Memento matchup.
So they receive Fusion, sending Gaddock to the graveyard, and returning the Goblin to the deck to be able to summon Memento Twin Dragon.
Oh, wait. Is this in grave?
Yeah, I shuffle it back.
It shuffles back from grave?
Yes.
Yeah, just double checking how Memento Infusion works. You can either send cards from your hand and field to the graveyard, or you can return cards from your graveyard back into the deck.
Because it was monster destroy, goblin destroy.
Oh, it's like the second sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure we fully understand why he was able to do that, because earlier he didn't do that. It's just an option you have when cards are destroyed.
What does that do? Sorry.
Destroys, add 2. Anything?
So on summon, it does what?
Destroys itself to add 2 Memento monsters.
That's good.
Going to go ahead and destroy itself and add 2 Memento monsters from his deck to his hand. Going to probably get some extra extenders here. We've already used our normal summons, so things like Darkblade and Anguich are a bit weaker now. But Sleepy is definitely online.
It's going to be difficult to decide what to do next here for Pascal. You don't want to give time because every single time it could just mean the right Labyrinth card hits the hand, and discarding it could mean doom.
Yep, and here we see Kai just double-checking what the graveyard effect of Fusion is, being able to search for more Memento cards, essentially. Get him even more consistency. That card's really strong for this archetype.
absolutely has pushed it over the edge here to really make the deck a lot more competitive. Was always good, played it right when it came out of Valiant Smashers, but obviously it is a new beast from what it once initially
Então,
was.
o Labret já assumiu que não tem hand trap, além daquela.
Okay, so here we have Pascal probably thinking if he wants to order this any differently or just go straight for that Tatsu no Toshigo
Então,
and get some more memento
é
cards
boa
in
até
his
contra
yard.
meio, então.
Now Pascal's careful here. There may not be that many more summons from the graveyard and or banishments.
Here we see Bone Party going to be destroying a card from the hand, it looks like. But it's on resolution. So Kai's just thinking if he wants to respond here. Usually the Labyrinth cards want to have stuff already established in play before we interact with them, so it's probably fine just to let this go through first and then respond to whatever Pascal either summons or adds back. Just asking a clarification here from the team, I guess, about what is available to them to be able to be played.
I mean, it is a complicated deck indeed, not only for the duelists, but for the judges as well, having to keep track of a very complex series of gameplay interactions. Again, the overall deck, not too crazy, but you're just constantly seeing cards interact.
Both duelists getting a nice reprieve here. They have plenty of time to finish out this game 3, but I bet you the nerves are piling up. This will decide whether or not one of them goes home.
So Judge likely instructing them. We've got player audio just briefly muted here as there's an announcement, so we can't hear it as well over here at the desk, but I guess we'll find out shortly what is happening with an update.
My assumption would be like how Memento Infusion was able to resolve and maybe just asking a clarifying question.
Cadê, Luiz? Comenta aí, macho. Tu não tá na live não, cara. Mas saiu já.
The Welcome Labyrinth was an illegal activation.
In the game 2? To be
In
able to
game
set itself?
2, I believe so.
Didn't we just get a Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, just clarifying. I think so. Are they saying the effect to be able to set it last game?
Yes, I believe so, but that was previous. We're just keeping track of things because your penalties, if they accrue, stuff could happen.
Time tá pausado.
And here we're just clarifying as well what every player is going to do from this moment forward for this game. Just a little bit of a warning to Pascal there about being maybe a little too quiet.
Needs to explain the full part of the effect too. So Bone Party is not just special summoning, it's also adding to the hand, or could add to the hand, so can't give half answers there.
Good job on our judge team over there, making sure that both these players have a clean, honest game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I mean, it's difficult. You got to remember, both of these duelists have been doing this for days, and because it's an East Coast, West Coast battle, neither of them are from here, so they're even in different time zones as well.
So it's looking like Pascal's going to be resolving this Bone Party here, destroying a card from his hand, just probably figuring out which card it should be. And then Kai Wong giving us a bit of a heads up. I did see the Arias in there, which means he does have a potential interaction here during Pascal's turn, but like I said, I think he's going to wait until Pascal commits more cards. And there we see the destruction of the combined creation that was in Pascal's hand once again to resolve this Bone Party and maybe get Anguish. Yep, there she is.
So with the Arias the Labyrinth Butler in the hand, Kai isn't completely locked out of the game, but maybe telegraphing that there's not much he can do except just that single move of setting a trap card and then jumping in.
All right, both these players here are locked in. Pascal is recognizing, okay, I'm still under Meowls. Summoning from the graveyard is out of the question. Unfortunately, he will be doing that if he wants to get that combined creation back out onto the board. So worth noting that he will give up another card to Kai. And weirdly, Labyrinth is one of those decks, Kai mentioned this earlier, that doesn't just like plus a bunch, but the more cards they have, weirdly, the more access to their entire deck they'll have. So you still don't want to give them too many cards.
The more you use, the more you can do, absolutely.
But like when the big guys on the field, like,
If you control it, it's a take on
Yes. Yes. Just clarifying that Mace will only work if you control combined creation.
So jumping back in, apparently during the last duel around the 35-minute mark, if you're checking out the VOD, unfortunately Kai did use Welcome Labyrinth's effect to summon Lady Labyrinth during the draw phase of Pascal, but later in the turn, Kai also used Big Welcome Labyrinth during main phase 1. On a new chain, he went to Ariana for chain link 1, Shattrack Lear for chain link 2, Welcome Labyrinth for chain link 3 to set itself again, and you cannot use Welcome Labyrinth to reset itself as it was sent to the graveyard the same turn. So great catch to be able to go back in time there and for the judges to be able to catch that to make sure that this is a full and fair, honest YCS top cut.
Back over here to game 3, we do see the resolution of Sleepy fusing Mace, Katsuno Toshigo, and Sleepy to summon Creation King.
It finally is here. We got a fusion summon off.
This is the first time this card's been able to resolve for Pascal. Now we're going to see just how strong it is. We're going to be able to send another Creation King from the extra deck to the graveyard as well as 2 other cards. We're going to send Aki Hiron.
What's going on?
This is sending 3.
Yeah, so we're just clarifying what effect is happening right now. We're saying we have Creation King sending the Creation King from the extra deck, the Aki Hiron from the main deck, and then 1 more card.
I get it in Kai's position. If I had never seen Memento before, I'd be like, what do you mean you're sending 3 cards, 1 from the extra deck and 2 from the deck? What?
Yeah, there's a reason why you turned off my fusion monsters in game 1 and 2. Because I could do this.
He just heard the word fusion and said no, but little did he know how powerful these fusion monsters truly are.
Yep, and now we have Creation King's effect to banish itself and then set Memento Mictlan from the deck to the field. And then here we have the graveyard effect of fusion to search for another Memento card. We're going to be destroying the Creation King that we just summoned. Yep,
So again,
yeah, I was going to say we're searching for Memento Fusion. We're going to be grabbing another Memento Fusion.
so crazy that card can search any card, including itself.
I'm reading this right now.
Yeah, this isn't damage.
And it just is something with a lower level or something?
Yeah, low level than the one destroyed. I destroyed the fusion.
Okay, so Kai definitely familiar with this deck, able to quote the text of the cards without picking them up.
Yeah, it's like procedural stuff. Yeah. So affect target, and then you're going to use the effect. Or this effect or something. Yeah.
Obrigado.
Yeah,
That's good.
So we went ahead and targeted that destroyed Mementotlin monster. Now we're going to special summon 1 with a lower level, and it is Mementotlin Sleepy.
Because that Sleepy did come from the graveyard.
Effect?
Yes. Red one?
And now we're going to go ahead and Xyz summon here into that Goblin Biker Big Gabonka and start unlocking the Goblin side of Pascal's deck here. Going to probably search for that Doug Charger that we saw. Boom, beautiful. That'll be able to summon itself as well by getting rid of one of the materials on Big Gabonka. And now we're going to use Doug Charger's effect.
You gotta say, when you say effect, can
Charge effect is search the spell goblin.
Yeah, and this will get the grand breakout. Yeah, Pascal getting a little ahead of himself, kind of like Kai did in game 1. You know, these duelists feel an open game state, they just start playing.
A gente jogando, o tempo passa muito ligeiro, assistindo é muito
I mean, the
chato.
best way to do it is just say, like the anime, right? I activate my monsters effect, which allows me to do this. And as silly as that is, it is in compliance with tournament policy guidelines. You do have to, like, talk to that person across the table. This is not solitaire.
Ooh, and there we see Xyz's Armor Torpedo coming out. That's another just interesting rank 3 that we haven't gotten to see Pascal play yet. This might access the Armored Xyz side of his deck if he has any fun ways to keep climbing up, but it does give him an extra draw as well. Oh, actually, no, we're going to overlay 2 monsters with the same rank to go into F-Zero, Utopic Future, and then into Draco Future. Whoa!
Speechless. I thought we were fusing.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't see that coming today.
No, my bingo card, I might as well just throw it out. This is the craziest YCS top 8 I think I have seen in quite some time. But really good standardized plays here that make perfect sense, right? You've got plenty of level 3s. You want to be able to have that synergy to connect to the Goblin, but rather than just using that, combining all of these great cards into making Utopic support? That's insane.
Now, I will say Kai does have a response to Utopic Future being summoned, so Pascal will not get a pop-off potentially here. He got, again, a little excited, but I'd love that he showed off the Draco Future, though. That was pretty awesome.
This is very tough for me.
This is a tough call here.
You have to decide whether to stop it right here with the Arias the Labyrinth Butler.
But even then, like, what trap card does he have in his hand that could even interact with it?
Looks like the cannon.
That's the set?
Set a okay, my turn. Arias effect to set a smaller trap or a trap card, normal trap card that can be activated this turn, or special summon a labyrinth monster.
Yep. So we're either gonna set or special from hand now.
Yeah. This is how we start it.
We're gonna reveal the Daruma Karma Cannon as a trap card that we are setting. It can be activated this turn.
I'm gonna go
Garuma de novo, né? Tá bom.
And then we're also going to activate the Chant Draglier's effect to discard a card and set.
That's tough. I mean, with only Pot of Extravagance,
and
Labyrinth, and then another trap card there, it's really, really difficult. But he's going to get rid of the field spell, not trying to be too greedy.
Yeah, it doesn't really give him that much value until he gets his Welcome Labyrinth established anyway. So now we're going to set here to a different card, just making sure no imperms have been activated or anything else. Where should we set things? You probably get Welcome here. It won't be able to be activated this turn, I don't believe, because areas only let you activate the one that you set this turn, I believe. Yep, so there's the Welcome Labyrinth.
Good call.
But the cannon can be activated, and that will stop the Utopic Draco Future from coming out.
The Pot of Extravagance is going to be huge if we get to it, but right now we're going to go ahead and banish the Goblin Breaker Grand.
Tem mais, amor?
Grand Entrance, by the way. I misspoke earlier.
Oh, it is entrance. It is entrance.
Acabou?
That's what let him get the other Duck Charge.
Acabou, foi?
Wait, that means he's running both Grand
Quero
Entrance
mais.
and Grand Breakouts.
Yeah, because
this
he has the Duck Charge.
Me?
Very Goblin-centric. This is so cool.
Yep, and then he's going to go into attach the material like we saw there. Then he's going to go into Draco
Não.
Future.
Vou dar um negócio meio salgado
And
ali.
then we're going to summon the combined creation from the graveyard by shuffling back 5 different memento names from the graveyard. This will give him another Meowl's draw. Hopefully Kai recognizes that. Once he decides the 5, of course. It's a summoning condition, so we got to do that first. Yep, there it is. There's the 5. Then we shuffle back, and Kai drew another card, and it was lovely, unfortunately.
Ooh, that's a little painful right now because he had added the Welcome Labyrinth probably to get lovely.
Yeah.
And now, well, that does not help nearly as much as it would have.
And there we see a potential set 3 from Pascal, ending on Utopic Draco Future and Combined Creation. That is a very scary board.
And could use the Memento Mictlan field spell during the end phase of doing exactly that. Probably to set the Memento on Bone Party. Yep.
And can I read Bone Party one last time? Sorry.
Sure, you go.
It destroys, then summons or searches?
Summons or searches.
Or searches.
Yeah, either or.
And it destroys on resolution, not for cost.
From hand as well. And
Oh,
from
from deck.
Am I allowed to ask what I know in hand or no? No.
You know the goblin. You shouldn't say that.
Oh, Kai trying to save Pascal from revealing public information there. Just trying to keep it fair again. If you haven't been to enough YCSs, I really recommend reading those tournament policy guidelines. Can't say that enough.
So you said with that?
Yes, I said this. Yeah.
If we're still, I'm thinking in your end phase.
Yeah, we're thinking in Pascal's end phase, seeing if Kai wants to respond here with any of the cards he has access to. All right, so we go to draw phase here for Kai. Drawing a rollback, it looks like.
I think it's time for that Pot of Extravagance. We're going to have to spin the wheel here and find out what happens.
Utopic Draco Future represents pretty much a change of heart on any of the most powerful monsters in Kai's deck.
Oh, that's crazy.
Whoa!
All right, let's see what these 2 Destiny draws are. Kai's fate depends on it.
Big welcome, it looks like. And a Dominus Impulse.
Ooh, even pointing to the Dominus Impulse like, yeah, that's not too bad.
This one's not too shabby.
Só aí, pulse.
Yep, effective content of combined creation to summon.
Taking a sec there. That's pretty rough. Great cards in the hand.
We do have that impulse, right? But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to just let him summon the Anguish here. And Anguish will be able to search here. I believe we returned Mace, so this could be us searching it back again, so we can get potentially 2 change of hearts. Oh, we're going to get the Sleepy instead here.
That is the one.
I was getting ahead of myself.
Oh, I know. But how could you not in this deck that could basically do anything?
My monster's destroyed. My card effect, I can.
Yeah, you have Bone Party. Yeah.
Kai's like, oh, I know why you searched this. You're going to summon Guardian Chimera on my turn. I know you. Well, actually, no, that wouldn't work with Sleepy because you wouldn't be able to use the effect. But you can summon, like, Creation King and get the pop that way.
Pascal likely not to make that misstep. Kai's got to decide what to do. We're still in draw phase, technically.
I suppose you're right, yeah. Oh, no, we're in main phase because of Extravagance.
Oh, that's true.
We did draw during the main phase.
It's been a very long main phase. But all we've done is draw cards then.
We're going to activate the Dreamer Karma Kit we set using Arius last turn. That'll set all the monsters, turning off most of the interactions that Pascal had access to there. This does also turn off a potential Mace that he might be able to kind of sneakily get in there with any of these awesome Memento cards. We're going to welcome Labyrinth for Ariana. Aria effect on summon. He's going to be met by an Imperm.
Ooh.
Shane, Arias, Labyrinth, that's great.
Yes, because we're responding to a Labyrinth effect, we'll be able to chain Arias to add it back to the hand.
So chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the second time Arias is stumped onto the field. Maybe the third.
I'm sorry, Chen Dragolier adds. This summons itself to the field.
That's right. In attack mode, no less.
Gonna be able to punch. I believe he has 2,600 attack points.
More importantly, there are 10 stars worth of monsters on the field, including only Dark. So we may be seeing a Chaos Angel in just a moment.
The honorary Labyrinth monster, being able to banish the combined creation would be pretty huge.
I mean, the powers of light and darkness intertwine in quite a few decks this format, right? We've seen Chaos Angel in Ryzel Fiendsmith, and now we're seeing it in Labyrinth.
It was not banished off extra. We do get the Chaos Angel out on summon, being able to banish something. We're going to attempt to banish the combined creation. That Bone Party will not save it because it is not face up. It will get banished. How much defense does Draco Future have? It has 2,500, right?
Believe so.
Yeah.
Very
Só
utopic,
teclado.
to say the least.
TS. For all the Utopia evolutions. Ooh, I think Kai's thinking the same thing I am. How much defense does this have? But I don't believe he's able to ask that now that it's set face down.
Yes, because it's only dark. Okay.
Yes, because it was made with only dark monsters, Chaos Angel cannot be destroyed by battle. Worth noting for sure. Because Pascal might have limited ways to out it at this point. We're going to go straight to battle phase here. Chaos Angel's going to attack the Anguish.
Interesting. Perhaps not as worried about the Xyz monster because of
E aí,
access to
Galo?
things like Dimensional Barrier, negating the effects of
Não
that
tem o que
card.
fazer mesmo não, né?
Macho, eu não, bicho.
E o quanto, mano? Acabou quanto lá o teu regionalzinho?
Macho, se eu te disser, foi assim, eu já fui sabendo, né? Aí a TTT atrapalhou, viu, cara?
Making sure trying to play around potentially any more
Acredita?
bombs that could be there. We do currently have one in the second to the right, or I believe that's
Ficou
known as
quanto,
column
Gomes?
4 is the way it's
Fiquei 0-1.
Correct, but it's really difficult to get 5 cards to set. You
Foi.
have to choose, okay,
Eu
which
tinha
one
que
of these
sair,
will I
mano. Eu tinha marcado um compromisso com a mulher, aí não podia falhar.
Infinite Permanence
Aí
Fate
saí.
effect and,
Aí saí na primeira.
from Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels animations, but the feel of that
Mas aí, ó, deixa eu te passar como foi.
out of the air there.
Lá foi tranquilo, era um Cristron. Aí game 1 ele ganhou no dado e começou. Esperado, ganhou, né? Montou o campo dele. Aí game 2 eu montei o meu e ganhei. Né? Até foi um erro meu, eu não gravei. Mas eu tava apressado. E aí game 3, a minha mão veio péssima. Veio uma TTT, veio uma True Light, veio uma barragem dimensional e veio
Pegou barragem dimensional no jogo 3.
porque game 1 ele ganhou.
So Kai just confirming some card effects here, and we're gonna dominate.
E agora eu não
Você
lembro.
tinha uma barragem dimensional no game 3. Gol em second.
Pois é, enfim. Mais um erro.
E aí tem um péssimo pós-side aí foi triste. Aí foi side diff, era pra ter tirado também.
Não, sabe o que eu acho? Sabe o que eu acho? Eu acho que game 1 eu ganhei. Game 3 ele ganhou. E game 2 ele ganhou. E aí eu pedi pra ir primeiro. Porque eu baixei. Eu joguei pouco, eu joguei. Tinha Aveio. Eu botei Aveio não passou. Não. Passou, aí eu peguei o Barry, invoquei o Barry passou, e aí eu setei, sim, foi, Game 3 eu pedi pra começar, então foi assim mesmo, Game 1 eu ganhei, Game 2 ele ganhou e Game 3 eu pedi pra começar. Aí a TTT atrapalhou porque ela veio merda na minha mão. Porque veio morta na minha mão, porque eu tava com a TTT, a Trust, a barragem dimensional, o veio e tinha mais uma outra carta lá que eu não lembro. Aí baixei. Não, Purga Dominus. Não, ele destruiu o Barry, aí o efeito trigou, aí eu baixei o Feixe. Olha pra tu ver. Eu baixei o Feixe, baixei a True Light, baixei o Purga Dominus e baixei. Aí fiquei True Light, Purga Dominus e Face. Aí, só que eu não tinha o amarelo na mão, cara. Não veio o starter. Aí eu não consegui puxar.
Não, mas tu não tentou fazer o Link 1, não?
Não, ele tinha destruído, ele tirou do campo.
Mas tirou como?
Ele usou uma carta lá, eu não lembro não. Ele usou uma carta lá.
Oxi, mas não foi tu que começou o game?
Não lembro.
Tipo, na minha cabeça, tipo, você dá normal do Veiler, faz o Link 1...
Não, mas não tinha Veiler, eu não tinha Veiler na mão.
Mas tu falou que tinha Veiler na mão?
Não, eu tinha Barry. Não, veio o Primita. A Lorde.
Tá.
Entendeu?
Veio o Primita.
Aí, por exemplo, se a TTT não tivesse vindo na minha mão, eu teria puxado o amarelo. O amarelo, eu 4 light no campo, eu ia conseguir montar meu campo. Eu conseguia montar uma defesa. Entendeu? E aí, já tava bem no finalzinho do tempo. Aí ele só foi pra fase de batalha, deu o dano e ficou ali cozinhando. E aí ganhou. Entendeu?
Falar, o Light Primita é legal. Agora vendo o Primita e compra o Horus, urgentemente. Horus é extremamente roubado. Não sei se tu tá ligado, tem um cara aí jogando de Blue Eyes Horus.
Se eu te disser que eu tenho...
Mano, o Blue Eyes Horus é bizarramente bom, velho. Eu fiquei assustado vendo o duelo, mano. Não sei se ele perdeu ainda, porque eu acabei dormindo, né? Não sei se teve jogo, mas acordei aqui vendo que o cara do lado ainda tá vivo no game, velho. Ele e o Memento, mano.
Mas a porra do tempo não acaba não, cara. Ele ainda tá 6 minutos ainda. Não acaba não.
Eu tô achando bizarro, mano. Eu não vi que foi quem tava no top 16. Depois eu vou dar uma olhada. Mas bizarro, mano. Um lado de puro ter chegado aí tão longe, mano. Esse deck é muito... Caralho, mano. A complexidade do lado, pra mim, é bizarra, mano. Porque você tem que saber realmente como interagir. Você tem que ter noção de todos os outros decks.
Quem joga de Labrat tem um QIzinho a mais.
É porque, tipo, você tem que saber como interagir com todos os decks se você for enfrentar. Então você tem que conhecer praticamente todos os decks do meta. Entender todas as estratégias, a fraqueza de todos e como interagir e onde interagir, tá ligado? Tá estudando todos os decks, mano. É bizarramente bizarro.
Gameplay elevada, viu?
Eu acho o jogador de Labrat, eu acho bizarro.
Ei, o Michael tá chamando pra jogar, ó.
Memento deck, it's like, why would I bother getting rid of your monsters?
I'll
I'll just
have
steal them
Michael.
from you. Thank you for summoning such powerful monsters. They're mine now.
Oh, yeah. And then on the trap side from Kai, just really
Eita,
interesting.
mano, eu nem imaginava que tava muito Goblin. Eu nem vi se o Pac saiu ou se ele perdeu. Não percebi. O Pac, não sei se ele perdeu, se ele saiu, não sei.
Deixa eu falar aqui pra ele que eu vou jantar e eu vou jogar com ele.
Nossa, vai chegar tão caralho.
Fica aí, pô. Bora conversar aqui, tô sozinho.
Tá no top 8, velho.
É, tá top 8 já.
Bizarro, mano. Lá do filme em Goblin Memento, mano. Eu sabia que Goblin Memento era legal, tá ligado? Mas não é aquele... Ah, bizarro. Esse será que o Pac é pro... Ia tomar pro Memento o Friends Beef dele. Bizarro. Esse YCS tá sendo legal, velho. Tem muito deck diferente que tá no meta, mas obviamente tem muito deck com Friends Beef. É Malice com Friends Beef, é não sei o que com Friends Beef, é Raid com Friends Beef, mas pelo menos tem um deck diferente, mano.
Parece que saiu alguma coisa aí de Primit Fusion com a fusão do Primit. Aí eu não deu pra me ler muito bem aí, que eu tava preocupado com outra coisa.
Indivíduo uma galera aí, tem o Gleninho, e vai a galera, teve do Shadow também, que já fez vídeo, teve de quem mais? Teve aquele pessoal do canal do... Qual o nome, velho? Não lembro também, eles já fizeram vídeo falando sobre essas cartas que já meio que foi spoilado por culpa do Master Duel, pelo visto. Tanto essas cartas quanto cartas que vão dar suporte pra vários
There was
decks.
definitely some Destiny heroes and stuff out there as well. So
Inclusive, cartas que
again,
vão
if
dar
you're
suporte pra aquele deck
going
de
to your local
cozinha lá.
shop, next really cool
E são
stuff you
cartas
can find for
interessantes
sure.
pra um deck de ritual. Não são tão roubadas, mas são cartas que fazem o jogo ficar interessante pro deck. Vamos ver.
Oh my goodness,
Eu vou
Alliance
aqui,
Insight
mano.
is
Vou
going
sair
to be
aqui
here
já já
before
e
Can you believe that
Tá bom.
YCS Providence is like
Tá bom, de boa.
about three or four weeks away?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, give or take. Less than a month for sure.
100%.
Wow. It'll be here before you know it. It'll be interesting to see how people jump into that format and what cards they're excited about.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I know me. I'm still gonna be playing Malice.
You're allowed to play Malice. They're still playing Memento, which came out a long time ago, right? Valiant Smashers have been out for a couple of years, and Labyrinth has been out even longer.
Oh yeah, I'm really enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh right now. It's in a place where it feels like no matter what I play, as long as I commit and I play what I like and I do good, a miracle can happen, as Kai has said himself today.
Well, hopefully Kai gets the miracle too, but we're still waiting, of course, for an update from our judge staff. It may be a minute here, so just kind of bear with us as we hang out with you in the chat. And again, thank you for watching. We know there are so many viewers, can't imagine why, but either or, we
Vai lá, são demais, cadê a banir?
all over the place. You could be here too, and I know I say it every time. Please, maybe you'll see me at YCS Properties, be like, hey, I'm here. What do you want? I want you to duel. Go have fun. That's all. Please, don't hurt me.
As long as you're here to duel, you're welcome at every YCS.
Oh yeah. And it's a great place to hang out too. You do hear some duelists are like, you know what? I'm not in the tournament. I'm not even in the public events. I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah, it's duel time. Where else are you gonna go during duel time than a YCS?
I love how a YCS becomes Battle City, and this is a phenomenon I think everybody knows. You know, maybe you get to the city. I got here particularly on Thursday, and there's no duelists. And then all of a sudden you start to see backpacks. You're like, wait, I know that guy. I don't know his name, but I've definitely seen him before. And then before you know it, every single person in the venue, the hotel, across the street, the restaurant, they're duelists. We take over these places. So it definitely changes Houston, Providence, Rhode Island, wherever we go into Battle City or Duelist Kingdom.
Oh yeah, a YCS being held in Battle City, I think, is always the most accurate way to say it, because no matter what city we're in, it becomes Battle City.
Yeah, goodness. It's going to be fun once we get to jump back into the gameplay, but I just want to say that, this has been just a really wild format. I don't think when Maze and the Master came out, anybody was expecting the Tomb Keepers to take over.
Oh, yeah. And I think what's really awesome about that deck is that it unlocks kind of a big, dichotomy in Duelists. There are plenty of people that love trap decks, but hate the weakness they have when it comes to going second or the weakness of their monsters. Tomb Keeper has powerful monsters that unlock the power of your trap cards. You don't need trap cards to make your monsters strong. It works both ways.
So it makes me wonder, since we're going to be seeing more stuff, if Jinza will come back. But speaking of seeing more stuff, it looks like, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the updated top 8 bracket, right, to see what else is going on.
Ooh, it's looking right here that we do have some deciding factors from the game between Aditya and Anthony. Aditya moving on, so that means we have a guaranteed Mermail in the top 4. Really nice to see. Manuel and Nathaniel, that means we have at least one Ryziel going into top 4. We have the game right now happening between Pascal and Kai. That's still yet to decide a winner here. And then we have Kevin versus Christian, with Kevin moving on. Really awesome to see 2 international duelists in our top 4, both Manuel and Kevin coming from Sweden, I believe.
Yeah, we talked about an East Coast, West Coast matchup. Talk about coming from across the pond. Duelists traveling literally from other countries here to America to be able to compete and show us the best of their dueling. Second to none. That is amazing.
Yeah, given this matchup spread, there's actually a world where Kevin and Manuel face each other in the finals and have Sweden versus Sweden in the finals at a YCS Houston.
We've had it before. I believe it was YCS Indianapolis that was won by a player from Brazil. And I remember asking him, what does it mean to you to come all the way from across, so many different locations to get to all these different YCSs? Come here to America, win the YCS. And you know what Paulo's answer was? Brazil!
Let's go!
Oh, it just goes to show you that duelists really do come from all walks of life, all nations. You're all welcome here. It is going to be such an interesting YCS if we do have just nobody from North America left in the contention.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about card games. I don't care if you're blind, I don't care if you're deaf, I don't care if you don't speak a single word of my language. As long as we're dueling, I can communicate with you and have a great time.
It's good stuff. It's weird because we all do speak a second language, and it is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, because if you see a picture, I don't care if it's 50 feet away, maybe it's on the other side of a football field, you're like, yeah, that's pot of greed. I don't know what it does, but I know that's pot of greed. And
something's gonna happen.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. It's just so funny that we do all speak like a pictographic language, right? You see that card and you're like, oh, there's that. And in the same way that if somebody says a word you don't know, if you see a picture you don't know, like, what does that do? And duelists are these amazing genius level people that can be like, oh, I've committed this full thing to memory and I'll know it for the rest of my life just off of this picture.
And worst case scenario, you always have viewers.
Ô, enrolação do caralho.
Oh, Neuron is such an incredible app. Like, I don't mean to glaze on it, but the idea that you could just like scan the card and be like, oh, and now I know what it's in this language, and now I know what rarities it in. Good stuff.
But
Good
for some
stuff.
reason, every time I scan Pot of Greed, nothing comes up.
I
Weird.
know. I can't. I just like.
It's a bug.
It's a bug. Maybe it's a feature, right? For anime fans, you know what we're talking about. Oh, goodness. Well, I have to say, after we got out of the Team YCS, right, because we're coming off of Team YCS Las Vegas, you know, I don't think I expected the format to shake up this much, but I guess this shows the strength of individual duelists competing by themselves.
Yeah, Team YCS are always a different beast, you know? Like, there's always that mentality of, do we all play the same deck, or do we all play different decks? Usually, if you want to have a team having 3 minds on the same strategies, that way we can all share strategies, share advice, is really nice. But having 3 different decks to try to give yourself the most sort of diverse field and not be as easily countered is pretty good, too. Yeah, it was a super awesome format, and I'm glad I got to play with you.
Thank you. But focusing on the cards, not on us, right? We've had our day. It's just wild to see that, like, just through a few weeks, so much has changed. I feel like Ultimate Slayer just disappeared.
Yeah, Ultimate Slayer was in my main deck when I went to the Team YCS playing Malice, and now it's nowhere to be seen because it feels like the board breaker strategy or the going second strategy seems a little bit weaker because the turn 1 boards, if left unfettered, are just so hard to interact with.
No, you're absolutely right, and they're apparently going to be very close. So those of you who are just like, please, we want to see the duel, we're sick of the Stevens, don't worry, it is coming your way. We want to see the duels too. But following up on your comment on the Ultimate Slayer, it's just so wild to see it disappear because it felt so good to just be like, Myriad Logic Aggregator, there's your Xyz stuff. But it's true with water out there, there's not as much like mileage that you get out of it, and the extra decks have always been so crowded, so it's very hard to put so many different decks for sure.
Yeah, and like if you're banking on your board breaker being enough, you just can't be confident that it is. And so if you're going for a consistency and trying to maximize your chances of being in the top cut, having just something that protects your turn 1 or gives you some powerful non-engine to kind of stymie your opponent seems like what most duelists here preferred.
It's true that that's what makes the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series so special is it's not just like a 5-round tournament at like a giant locals that you may have, and it's not a regional championship where it's just the people around. These are people who came from other continents around the world. They're definitely going to have the cards. You can't think that, oh, he's not going to have 3. He has 3. But they also come from like different scenes, so they have different perspectives on it, and you may run into something where like, oh, no duelist would ever run that. And they're like, no, they run that over there. They do it.
Oh, yeah. Really exciting to see.
So yeah, speaking of excitement, is there anything you're looking forward to? Well, I guess in Alliance Insight, it is going to be the Malice stuff for sure, right?
Well, but actually, the Attic District stuff specifically that you get to play in Malice, if I'm being honest.
Oh, interesting. So a little bit of an update, though, for you at home. The question apparently was, as we were talking with the judges, is whether or not Mem and Totlin Anguish searched twice in one turn. It didn't. Anguish, the first copy summon came from Combined Creation, but the second Anguish came from Bone Party. It was resummoning the first one off the field, and so the only card searched was Sleepy, and it was never searched twice off Anguish. However, just like we talked about, both of these are kind of Galaxy Brain level decks with so many little micro interactions, so we had to make sure we were verifying that, but it looks like we will be going back into the gameplay relatively soon here. We just want to update you, so you at home aren't guessing or forming conspiracy theories or something like that. That's what happened. We were just verifying, that's all.
And like I said, the judges are there to make sure that a good, clean, honest game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Happens, and any legitimate question like did
Cafezinho, né?
solved twice is discovered, replayed, and searched, and it turns out the answer was no. Everything so far has been above board, and that means once we continue playing, we'll be going off of Pascal's turn and continuing to see how this matchup shakes out. It's a pretty close one, it looks like.
Definitely, and I'm so glad that we've got it. Now we're going right back in.
Yes, and we're going right back to Pascal's turn. We are still in
O
his
quê?
draw phase.
Eles ainda estão jogando? Nem fudendo.
It looks like on an open game state, Kai is going to be activating the Dimensional
Caramba,
Barrier and calling
não acaba não.
Fusion that he said?
Deus me livre.
Yes, specifically this is draw phase as Pascal clarified, therefore Fusion is not able to be activated.
Earlier, Kai did ask, can you activate that only in the main phase? The answer is yes, so great time for Dimensional Barrier.
Alright, so they won't be able to go into Creation Kings anymore, but Combined Creation is on the table, I think, and that is more than enough to maybe destroy Kai's board, because remember, he's only at 4,000 life points.
Oh, you're right, from the earlier transaction rollback. Now, he does have transaction rollback in the graveyard, but with limited options of traps in the graveyard. I think I only see 2 cards there for now.
Ooh, and there we see the Tatsuno Toshigo being summoned from Pascal's hand. That'll be more than enough names being sent to the graveyard that he needs to start comboing off, I think.
Let's see.
Yep, so we got Mace being set there. That's 1 star. We need 4 more stars worth of Memento Monsters. We've got Darkblade, so that's 5 total. I think Gaddock was already in the graveyard, so we couldn't get any more value out of that. Yet, because the Tatsuno Toshiko was destroyed, we're going to be able to summon a monster that's weaker. We're going to chain the Aki Huron's effect to summon itself because something was destroyed. And this makes all of our big momentum monsters be able to attack directly. So now if we just summon the combined creation, it can attack directly for game.
Good stuff.
What effect?
It's to discard to destroy a spell trap.
Yes, so this is the effect of Dark Blade to discard and destroy a spell or trap, and he's chaining to that the Aki Huron's effect to make sure that everything can attack directly if it's level 9 or higher.
Feel like this is the first time we've seen, or at least the first time we've seen in a while. So discarding to get rid of that face down card.
I mean, what a matchup to use it against Labyrinth, right?
Yeah, plenty of traps.
Yep, we have used the Big Welcome already, if you guys remember back, because it was used during the draw phase of Pascal's turn.
This does something itself. Then it back in.
Oh, it's a different effect.
It's a different effect. It has like 3 different effects. So
Yes, Aki Huron has 3 separate effects that'll have different triggers.
Welcome to Memento, friends.
Yeah, level 9 or higher.
Yeah, only level 9 or higher momentum monsters can attack directly. Oh, and there we go.
Oh,
Kai's
Kai.
instantly scooping because all he has to do is summon Combined Creation and attack directly. And Kai only has Welcome Labyrinth and can only summon monsters. Pascal is moving on to top 4.
A huge round of applause. All our very patient duelists here again. Cheering there for Pascal, managing to get the match win out, and everybody is locked in and ready to see who is going to continue to advance, because now we're about to go to top 4.
Ooh.
Only 4 duelists left.
And we know Pascal's going up against Kevin, and we know that Manuel is going up against, I believe it was Nathaniel that he's playing against.
So we do have Rizal representation. We do have Memento here. Unfortunately, this is the swan song for Labyrinth, but what an incredible, incredible performance from Kai, right? Just great stuff, showing how good Labyrinth is. Wasn't able to get through the Memento. Showcasing right now, I believe he's showing that he's side decked in the Mulcharmy Meows, and it is a good option against a lot of different decks, but just
Então
didn't get
parece que o
too
Labyrinth
much
ganhou,
mileage
né?
in this duel.
Yeah, unfortunately, still going second against Memento is just too hard to come back from when they open as well as Pascal did and played as well as he did as well. Going second,
so I believe he rates representation
up again.
Foi o Memento. É,
Because now
é
we're about to
justo.
go to top 4. Only 4
É.
duelists left.
And even if it's not getting top 8 at this stacked YCS, nothing to scoff at.
My dream, as I preach to the chat, is for one of you to get top 4 in cosplay. That's all we need to see. We've seen top 8. Kai has an incredible record here. Somebody's got to be the cosplayer to get the next one.
Oh yeah, 100%. But this duel was amazing. Both players did great, and I think we're a strong representation of what is possible in this format, even if you don't play Ryziel or Malice.
Oh, yeah. And it is always one of those things. People are like, oh, look at these popular decks. I have to play this popular deck in order to make it. Wrong, and you just saw it here. So, again, we've got now left. You said Mermail, Ryziel.
Meu filho, nós temos Memento Goblin Memento na semifinal.
Legal. Contra quem, hein? Eu não lembro.
Não sei, ainda vai ver o resultado. Sei não. Eu vi que ele realmente passou pra top 8 decks e junto com ele ia jogar ia ser contra esse cara aí de Labyrinth.
No, not for me.
Não vai cair não, não olhei no direito. Legal.
Tu tá assistindo aí, né, então?
Tô.
Eu ia transmitir a tela pra ti.
Legal. Deixa eu até voltar aqui onde eu tava, eu queria ver também quem foi provavelmente vai enfrentar.
Yeah, and honestly, if
Deixa eu ver aqui a tabela.
thinks to get top 4 to YCS, that feels like too few of time, so it's still a huge accomplishment for Pascal. This is not an easy beat to do, y'all, and he's doing amazing.
Well, speaking of Pascal, why don't we go ahead and
Lá vai eu agora. Enfrentar meu Cartida tem pai.
now we get to see where his emotions are running. So, Jackie, take it away.
Okay, Stevens, I am with Pascal. Crowd, let's hear it for Pascal. Oh my gosh, they love you. Oh my, I'm sure that you're overwhelmed with emotions right now.
Aqui.
Tell me, what are you thinking? Final 4 semis.
Manuel,
Stay locked in and focus and just make sure I, careful with my plays and just make things
Pascoal,
Ô, Ricardo! Bota água pra mim.
Kevin, ele vai jogar com metade.
I mean, I've been playing this deck for about a year, so it's a very complicated deck. Like every card has like 3 different effects, so it gets confusing sometimes. But I've been playing it for a while. Misplayed a little bit throughout the way. Got better with it. So.
A mix of Goblin Bikers and Memento. Can you explain to
Ei,
me
mas tinha um Blue Eyes Primita lá que tava completo, viu? Com multi-arm e tudo, viu?
So I wanted to play
Primita
Smith, where I could play around those cards pretty
Ele
well.
perdeu,
and
inclusive.
There's plenty of times
Ele
that I
ficou
got
top
protected and
4.
still able to win because of the way I built my deck.
Okay, awesome. It's working, right? Do you
Oi?
have a game plan or a mindset going into semis?
Top 4 não, doido. No top 4 agora que tá começando.
Stay focused and just
Ele perdeu, doido.
make sure I just play my cards carefully.
O top 16, eu acho.
Não, você não tá entendendo. É na arena hoje.
Crowd, to the people watching at home.
Nothing that comes to mind right now.
Ah, tá falando do campeonato da
Não também
arena.
sei não, vê com o Douglas.
We'll see who wins. All right, thank you so much, Pascal, and I'll send it to the broadcasters.
Thank you so much, Jackie. And once again, huge congratulations to Pascal for being our first top 4 match victor here. It's top 8 match victor going into top 4, where he's going to fight against definitely someone from Switzerland. Sorry, guys.
Parece que o Pac, esse cara sabia de alguma coisa. Parece que ele sabia que o Memento era bom, velho. Caralho, bizarro.
Not at all.
Got it.
Partiu comprar Memento, foda-se.
Tinha um cara vendendo aí um completo, ó, mano.
Parece ter sido. Mas na hora que vai receber, vai ficar baratinho o deck.
Dungeon Dice Monsters for sure.
Você reprint das cartas mais caras.
So for me, actually, I do love me some Dungeon Dice Monsters, and there's so many memories I have with
Da
the
Witch, que era a
worldwide
bruxa.
machines. But my new
50?
favorite is
Porra, assim,
actually
150,
Capsule
40.
Monsters GB. It's a
Tá cara a
storyline
merda.
that kind of crosses into like old Yu-Gi-Oh! And just has this great vibe where Seto Kaiba puts on the Millennium Ring. I'm not going to spoil anything more than that, but it is such a cool game, and there's such great nostalgia from all that. Whether you're playing it again on Steam, so you can play it on a Steam Deck and have portable just like a game experience, or if you're just actually playing on PC, Nintendo Switch, etc., it is so cool. And comes with those beautiful quarter-century secret rare alternate arts.
E se eu te disser, bem na hora que a gente ia começar, eu passei mó tempão com a câmera ativa. Na hora que a gente vai começar, a câmera não dá um bug. Aí eu tava até com a mãozinha legal. E o cara mandou embaralhar a mão. É justo. Não tenho o que reclamar, não. É justo.
That's fair. I'm a little bit of a dueling grandpa for
pai.
sure, so I might have been around when those games came out. Whoops, might have played them on the original systems they were out. But speaking of future duels, we do have to throw it to a break here, but don't worry, we'll be back with our semifinals soon enough.
We're here at YCS Houston, and the duelists out here on the show floor have 60 seconds to guess this card. Let's see how they do.
Quem foi que ganhou também, eu nem sei o que é que o cara tava jogando.
Guess the card. You have 60 seconds. Go. Is it a monster?
Espero que não seja Malice. A única coisa que eu não quero é que esse
Talvez
OSS
tenha sido Malice, eu acho.
Pô,
É o-
todo regional.
Eu tô falando o regional.
Todo regional que eu vi, o Malice ganhou. Aqui no Brasil. Todo,
Eu tava com a jogada anti-Malice.
Is it a Link monster? No. Is it a XYZ? No. Is it a Synchro? No.
Todo regional que eu vi. Todo regional que eu vi até agora, o Melis ganhou, velho. É. Caralho, mano, que deck desgraçado, mano.
Not Ash Blossom. Is it a hand trap? Or sorry, is it a card you can use from the hand? Yes. Does it destroy? Yes. Ghost Soaker. It is Ghost Soaker and Snow Rabbit. Good job. Thank you guys. Boom. I'm back with Logan. You have 60 seconds to guess the card. Go. Is it a monster card? No. Is it a spell card? Yes. Is it a normal spell? Yes. Is it meta relevant right now? Yes. Does it have triple in its name? Yes. Is it thrust? Sorry, triple tactics thrust. That was quick. Good job. Now I'm back with Nicholas, and you have 60 seconds to guess the card. Go.
Is it a spell?
No.
Is it a trap?
No.
Is it a monster?
Yes.
Is it a link monster?
Yes.
Is it like a monster they played in the anime?
No.
Is it like a meta monster, like a one that's popular?
Yes.
Is it a
Fechar essa live, pessoal.
No.
Is it a
Horrível.
It is not SP Little Lake.
Is it IP Masquerena?
It is not IP Masquerena. No.
Is it Link 2?
It is a Link 2.
Is it like generic? Does it like require never mind. Does that have an effect on summon?
It does have an effect on summon.
Is it a part of an archetype?
Yes, it's part of an archetype.
Is it part of the Trickstar archetype?
Not a Trickstar card.
Is it a Goki card?
Not a Goki card.
a nightmare monster?
It is a nightmare monster.
Is it Nightmare Phoenix?
It is Nightmare Phoenix. And we are back with Aditya. You have 60 seconds to guess the card. Go.
Is it a modern card? Released recently?
Define recently.
Was it released in the past 2 sets?
No.
Was this card played in 2023? Was it played in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Is it an effect monster?
Yes.
Is it level 4?
No.
Is it an extra deck monster?
No.
Is this card part of a specific archetype?
No.
Does this card have an effect that activates in the hand?
Yes.
Is this card level 3?
No.
Is it a fire?
Not a fire.
Is it a light?
Nope.
Dark?
Yes.
Dark level 7. Is it 2500 attack?
No.
Okay.
You cooked. Fantastical Dragon Phantasme has 2400 attack, sir. And we're back with Luke and Sako. You have 60 seconds to guess the card. Go.
Okay. Is it a monster card?
Yes.
Is it a meta-relevant monster card?
I would say so.
Can it be activated in the hand?
No.
Is it a level 4?
No.
Is it a level 3?
No.
Is it above a level 6? Level 6 or higher?
Can't answer that.
Is it an extra deck monster?
Yes.
Is it Ryziel Detonator?
No.
Ryziel Duo Drive?
No.
Does it have a rank?
It does have a rank.
Is it below a rank?
É só a balista.
No.
Is it Typhon?
Inclusive, alguém tá no negócio sabe
Divine Arsenal Zeus?
de balista.
No.
High King Waver Caesar? I don't know.
You get it? Can you give me all of that name?
Absolutely not. High King Super Wave Caesar DDD. That's pretty close.
There's one extra there. At least you got the DDD part. It's DDD Wave King High Caesar.
Balista TCG? Sim, balista TCG, mano. É pra ter, né? É pra ter a balista TCG.
Não. Mas foi confirmado. Pô.
Vai sair?
Vai, foi confirmado.
Ah, que bom.
Daqui 2 horas.
Espero eu que Melis tome no cu. Pô, desculpa aí. Eu tô palavreado, na verdade. Espero que Melis tenha uma decaída triste e deplorável.
I don't think there's any Fiendsmith in the top 4
É
at all.
que extremamente estranho. Shift EVA 1.
of top 32 was Fiendsmith.
That is
E
actually
possivelmente banem alguns aí que são problemáticos e Duele também. Bastante problemático.
Memento. I think that's the
E
biggest surprise.
banir Duele acaba bastante com a força do Ryzen. Então, a maioria dos decks. Tem um deck que é bom contra o Melis ou contra o Ryzen, só que o Ryzen ele ganha por conta do Duele. Quero ver o que vai acontecer.
Are we back? Are we good? I'm not certain. I guess Jerome's still trying to break into the broadcast, but hopefully someone on the back end can shut that down. No one wants to hear what Jerome has to say, right?
Ele tá na quarta, tá na semifinal.
Yeah, we don't need to hear anything
pô, tô
Jerome has
falando.
to say. So if anyone that's like, controlling production, can we make sure
Goblin
Jerome's
Mimito,
message
não é só
doesn't
um
get through
Mimito,
to
é o
these
Goblin
duelists?
Mimito.
We don't need
Interessante.
anyone. No one needs to hear what Jerome has to say, right?
Interessante, velho.
Okay, but we're neither here nor there. As I mentioned before, we were rudely interrupted by whatever that was. We are in top 4, and we have our top 4 feature match ready to go right away. So let's go ahead and meet our duelist, Jackie, who is going to be competing in our first top 4 match.
Velho, comprando Labre. Pô, o cara de meio perdeu, velho. Não vi, mano.
Ganhou.
O cara tá no top 10.
Ganhou.
Eu espero que ele não esteja. Ele ganhou puta pariu.
Ganhou do Ryziel, cara, de uma forma tão ridícula. O cara do Ryziel vivia botando os monstros de defesa e ele ia lá e destruía.
Ai, velho, caralho. Mano, deck de merda, velho. Memento é o deck que a gente joga. Memento não é.
Jerome brotou de novo. E aí, macho?
A porra daquele peixe, meu irmão. Caralho, velho.
Especially pepperoni. All right, everybody, let's get
Cara, tá
this
3/1.
match started. Are y'all ready? I love the enthusiasm. All right, casters, take it away.
Tô quase saindo. Ó, é um meio e um... Peraí. O meio e o Raizial, ó. O Raizial tá 3/1 e o Mermeio tá 12/1/1.
Tô vendo aqui a transmissão. Bizarro, velho. Que deck. Ai, velho. Ai, mano. Tomara que esse deck também tome hit. É pra ele tomar hit pelo peixe.
Cara, eu acho que é por causa do peixe que vai tomar, né? O tubarãozinho, né?
Eu espero que seja o peixe, ou pelo menos aquela menina. Se tomar hit no peixe, o deck não faz mais nada, não. Mas que aquela menina tenta matar a hit também tem. Aquela guria que tira a carta da mão do cara. Aquela carta dele.
Não, aquele dali é ridículo, viu?
Which one of these 4 remaining players will become a YCS champion? We do have a DJ who is an NAWCQ champion, but none of the players remaining have won a YCS previously. So either way,
vai pra jogar é
a
o
new YCS champion.
Eu já chamei ele, eu tô só organizando.
Não pode perder. A única coisa que pode fazer é empatar ou ganhar, mas se tu perder, fodeu.
O Eric já terminou a partida dele lá, já.
Acho que mesmo tu perdendo, tu fica um top 4, provavelmente. Top 4, top.
É, mas também não vou fazer igual o Rubinho Barrichello.
Não entendi.
Tô dizendo, eu vou ficar igual o Rubinho Barrichello, só indo na trave. Ou ganhar não, hein?
E o Rubinho não ganhou, não?
Quem é Rubinho? Não, o Rubinho não. O Rubinho não é hoje sim, hoje sim, hoje não, hoje não.
Mas já ganhou, mano.
Eu sei. O Rubinho que eu falo, o Rubinho Barrichello.
Já ganhou. Olha, ele nunca ganhou. Pera aí,
Não, a piada é porque no dia que ele do hoje sim, hoje sim, hoje não, foi porque a Ferrari fez ele dar passagem pro menino, pro Schumacher. Só que ele não quis deixar. Ele só foi deixar o Schumacher passar já lá no final da corrida, bem na última curva. E aí ele foi mó polêmica na época.
Não, ele nunca ganhou Fórmula 1. Ele nunca ganhou Fórmula 1. Caralho, velho, ele nunca ganhou Fórmula 1, não. Ele foi vice-campeão 2 vezes.
Então, é isso que eu tô te falando. Uma foi porque eles pediram pra ele deixar. E a outra, ele foi obrigado a deixar o Schumacher passar.
Eu não sabia disso não. Cara, na minha cabeça ele tinha ganhado. Nossa, você foi embora.
A dura realidade de ser um brasileiro.
Poxa, 55 minutos agora é o time? Ah, é. Já é semifinais, né? Interessante. Temos um Mermeio, Atlântico, um Hazel, um Goblin Mimito. Eu não sei qual é outro deck.
Não lembro não.
Espero que não seja um Malice. Espero que não seja um Malice.
Eu acho que não. O pessoal tinha mandado aqui em um grupo aqui. Eu vou caçar aqui porque eu tô sem olhar o celular.
Eu vi muitos Friend Smith, acho que tudinho perderam, mano. Caralho, que tristeza. Todos os Friend Smith que tinha mostrado pro outro deck perderam. Não sei que esse seja o.
É igual o Snake Eyes, pô. O Snake Eyes sumiu.
Já era doente. Não é que o Friend. O Friend Smith ele é saudável. O Snake Eye ele é doentio. Só é um deck, é só uma engine muito prática por conta da mão. Se tirar o deck não faz porra nenhuma. Só se tu usar a engine própria. O Musketeer, o Life Twin. É Life Twin aquele deck lá daquela mina. Não me engano. O chat aí, se tiver alguém do chat aí pra corrigir.
Summon another level 4 from the graveyard.
Yep, Node lets you send a monster to special summon back.
And now he's going to set up that Abyss Dweller.
This is huge. We haven't seen a DJ have to face down Abyss Dweller. It is the bane of our existence right now. He has the cross, he has the Dweller set up, he has Plasma.
O L, foda-se.
Things are looking really good here for Manuel.
O L é bom.
Vai dar um pouquinho no vermelho, mas mesmo que nada. Se ele fizer a porra do peixe, ele tá nem aí pra essa porra. Forte de raio. Duelo, o campo, Detonator, eu não sei o que foi que ele atachou pra ter. 3, nossa senhora. Ele pegou aquela trap também do Raizel. Tá usando
a trap é boa. A trap é boa, defende bastante.
Esse é uma dessa trap.
Plugin? Não, plugin é. Não, o plugin é um spell. Um spell rápido.
É spell rápido. Não dá trap.
I wonder if Adichie will even choose to play the turn out.
See that cool token that DJ got at the World Championship this past year. He's going to start things off with 1 for 1.
All right.
He's going to discard the gluttonous.
Reptile Fin, read this.
I'll let you finish it off.
Ei, vamos lá pro grupo do duelo lá?
Two men with two different walks
Vai lá, ué. Que eu vou depois.
We're going to see how this 1 for 1 is going to help a DJ. He'll be able to access Neptibus.
Vai jogar agora, é?
Não, eu vou ficar lá disponível. Aí eu tô com tudo pronto aqui já. Eu vou fechar a live aqui. É que eu queria estar com algum comentário.
Ah, não, vou pra lá. Vou lá pra mesa.
The reason Mermaland is so good is all these effects are so costly in their nature because they have to send cards from their hand or field to activate the cards in the graveyard have so many effects that trigger.
Pronto, pessoal, é o seguinte, quem tá aqui ainda, eu vou dar uma fechadinha na live. Tem uma final aqui do Clube do Duelo pra mim competir. E aí, semifinal agora, e vai ter a final. Após a final vai ter a banlist, né? Então, mais tarde, daqui a pouco eu vou.